Oh, there we go. Just a little bit of technical difficulties going on there. What's going on tonight? Yep, a little bit late. I was over to Buck's Live. Yes. Every time I go over there, I get to talking and just hanging out. So yeah, I was a little late because I was over there. So what's everybody got going on today? Oh, how many people we got in here? Whoop, a big whopping two. Whoever else is out there, good to see you. Oh, so what's everybody been working on today? We'll just kind of drag our feet here a little bit, let a couple more people file in, and I'll kind of show you what I dug into. Like I said, the dart has been taken out of the shop. The reason being is because that little dart is in too good a shape. I can't bring myself to cut it, so I drug an old 58 Ford in because it's pretty well. Well, let's just say it's well worth every penny I paid for it, all $300 up. So it's a car I don't care if I cut up because it's pretty much rusted out anyway. So that's the reason the Dart is out, and the 58 Ford 300 is back in the shop. It's two-door. And, oh, here we go. Now we start getting people filing in here. First responder, good to see you. I hear you did a live this today too, earlier. I'll have to go back and catch the rewatch on it though. I just got home from spending the day with the wife. Rich GT350R, the guy that really knows how to get the metal hot. Good to see you, man. Landon's Customs, good seeing you today. We ran into him up at town. Jim's, if it ain't broke, fix it. I see you got your fence up. Good to see you, man. Colleen, always good to see you. And our friend the Kiwi from way on the other side. What's going on, Dean? Mohawk 62, always great to see you. Auto Salvage Outlaws, the guy with the forgotten T-Bird. The T-Birds that I even forgot about them. What is it, 80, 79, 80? They're kind of the in-between years. Hope it's working out for you. I know you have run into a whole bunch of troubles with it. Let's see, get caught back up in here. Still wrenching you on the truck? Thank you for the live. I'll be listening. Cool, no problem. I'll try to keep it moving for you. Brian, what's going on, man? The master of the knuckle duster. That is one sweet looking duster too. NSB Customs, what's going on? New Smyrna Beach, Florida, NSB. Tim Windsor, always good to see you, and I hope your wife's doing really well. She's been in our thoughts and prayers this whole time, brother. And 162, the guy that can really make a wagon just look cooler and all get out. And if you want to see that, his handiwork on that wagon, oh, Buck Does It's got it. Good job, man. Let's see, we got everybody in here. All right, so we got plenty of crowd in here now, 16 people. I got a little history here for all of the Edelbrock fans and the fans of the 4-barrel carburetor. From what I understand, in America anyway, maybe the Europeans got it figured out before, I don't know. But Holly developed the first 4-barrel, the teapot. I don't own one of them. I don't want to own one of them. But I got one that's pretty close here. The Carter. That's where Edelbrock Carter all started. The WCFB. That's Carter's first 4-barrel. You see, it's pretty little. I think they're only 420 CFM, I believe is what they are. But my plan is I can still get a kit for that. That's actually my parts one there. I got another one in the shop. My dilemma is I got a down that little 239 Y block. The 239 is all on its own. The only parts that fit a 239 is the 239. And they were only offered with a 2-barrel carburetor. And it's a little teeny tiny little Stromberg type. Holly 94 is what they ran on them. But it's just like a Stromberg. It's got the 3-bolt pattern and a 2-barrel. And it's real restrictive in there. So my idea is to use this little bitty 400. I'm just going to call it a 400 CFM carburetor. Might even be less than that. On top of that, because I can get a WC, I'll get it right here. William Carter 4-barrel WCFM carburetor. I can still get a base plate for that to reduce it down to the 2-barrel 3-bolt pattern. So that's my plan. I'm going to try to get that carburetor on that Y block. I got a 4-barrel intake for it, and I got a 4-bolt intake, but they're all for the 312 Y block, and they won't fit on that 239. The head spacing's different, and I'd never be able to get it to seal up on the intake ports. I've got video coming on it, and I'll show you what I'm talking about for real, in depth on that. But that's my boat, and that's where I'm at, playing with this old school, trying to make it do horsepower kind of stuff. As you seen in my thumbnail there, sometimes you got to step off the beaten path and kind of use the old noodle a little different. So that's what I'm working on this week. What's everybody else been working on there? Get caught up in the chat here. Having the driveway redone on Monday from gravel to asphalt. Oh, sweet. Now I can work on the MG. Sweet. Without getting my underwear full of gravel. And it makes it a lot easier to roll a floor jack around too. I'm happier than a 350 Chevy and a 32 Ford. I like that. Stromberg 97, Holly 94. As numbers go down, the carbs get better. I have a soft spot for the Strombergs, though. When it comes to vintage speed and everything, oh, those Strombergs are just Hey, Cheryl, good to see you. And like I said, I got the little link up there. If anybody wants to join on in, hop on in. I'll let you all in. Up to 60 anyway. That's all StreamYard let me in on. Working on the 67 Fastback. Now that the 72 F100 is back on the road, sweet. Oh, I checked my phone earlier. I see you called. I'll get back with you. So, what's going on, everybody? This Carter 4-barrel is a way better design than than the old Holly teapot. Holy cow, that thing was complicated. They almost stacked on the Holly. They almost stacked the 4-barrel up on top. They were really strange looking, and they were known for fire hazard. Well, I'll be dadgum. Look at there. I sure appreciate that, Arrowhead. On the StreamYard side, I can't see the sticker. All it says is super sticker, but I sure appreciate that, man. Hey, Robbie. Good to see you. I'll make sure that goes to something on the car. Let's see. It'll buy maybe a carb gasket. That's where that was going. Thanks again. Picking with Pickle. Good to see you. Yeah, but that little Carter there, that's where she all started. And because I do mostly drivers, we don't do a lot of hardcore race cars. Oh, it's just hard to beat that Carter design. When Edelbrock took them all over, because that's basically what an Edelbrock is now, it's a Carter carburetor with an Edelbrock name on it. That design is just the absolute best for just a driving hot rod, an asphalt warrior, as I call them. And that new ABS2, oh man, I am totally sold on that thing. The way they fog the fuel in instead of squirt the fuel in. The throttle response on an ABS2 is just amazing. Hey, Ed, good to see you. The master machinist. When it comes to machine work, I'm pretty light on the knowledge on all that stuff. I fully admit it. I'm an assembler. When it comes to deep diving into stuff like that, I take it to people like Ed that know 10 times, 100 times more than I do about this stuff. And any questions I have, I take it to guys like him that know way more than I do. Which isn't hard. That's the cool thing about the automotive world, you know. It's a lot like fighting, you know, like boxers and stuff like, you know, MMA and stuff like that. No matter how much you know, there's always somebody out there who knows a little bit more. And the only thing I do know is I don't know it all. So, has anybody got any questions or anything? Really didn't have much planned for the live tonight. We just hang out and talk, chit chat, shoot the breeze, sit back, tell a few truths and all the lies. You know how YouTube goes. Yeah, good old Terry. Boy, he's another one too. Mr. Terry Grover. I mean, he's done stuff with 460 heads that, yeah, he's making power with heads that I never would have thought made power. Hey, Rusted Junk. Good to see you, man. Now, there's a good one. Are we alone in the universe? I hope not. My guess is that's why Elon Musk is in such a hurry to get us to Mars because he's looking for Zuckerberg's home address. Yeah, well, I'm sure pushing for it. Well, I'll put it this way. I'm sure pushing for the car to be there because I am no matter what. And even if you can't get your car done, I'll tell you what, just attending the No Name Nationals, even as a spectator, totally worth the trip. It's it's an event like no other when it comes to that. It is really about the grassroots YouTube automotive creators. Hey, Jason, what's going on? And there just happens to be a drag strip out there, so you get us all these YouTube creators together. Yeah, we're gonna put that drag use strip to some good use. And we'll run all kinds of stuff down that track. A bone stock Model T Ford against a U-Haul box truck? You betcha. Yeah, that one with the annuals. Oh man, it's so easy. So easy to. In fact, I set it on there, bolted it down on that 390 out there, didn't even touch nothing, and it had a vacuum leak, and it still ran good all the way home. Well, as good as it can run without, yeah, sound like a used car salesman there, didn't I? Yeah, it runs good. It's just got a little vacuum leak. Yeah. Never mind that Bondo on the side of the door there. That's the only Bondo that didn't fall out. It's still there, so it's good. Actually, that's a topic that me, my dad, and Landon were talking about the other day in the shop there. You hear a lot of people, talking about, the $500 cars are gone, the $100 cars are gone. For the most part, they're right, but they are still out there. But you, you get what you pay for. For me, I actually like them. I like the rusted out, beat up, nobody wants it, junk stuff. Because then I can do whatever I want to do to it. It don't bother me then. If a car's in too good a shape, uh, it makes it hard. Because then I don't want to change it. That's why that Studebaker bullet nose is still out there. That was another one that's just in too good a shape. I can't bring myself to change that car. Now I got a Dart out there that's that way. Hello, Wendy. Good to see you. We won't tell anybody, okay? And back to that Edelbrock too. Again, if you're looking for easy dependability, just a driver, not a racer, oh, you can't beat the Edelbrocks for that. If you want unlimited tunability and to be able to dial them in right down to the micro, Holly hands down. But I learned a long time ago that sometimes the most dangerous thing you can give somebody is something that is infinitely tunable, because if they don't know what they're doing, they will play with every aspect of that thing and have it completely out of whack. I've got examples of them out in the shop. Sometimes simple is better. My first car in 1968 was a 57 Chevy 210, two-door, sweet. I bought it for 175 bucks. My first one was a 62 Volkswagen Beetle. I paid $400 for it. The engine was literally in the back seat. It was all tore apart. Actually, I never did get that one running. I ended up selling that as a piece at a time. And I paid $400 for that car. Made money off of it because I parted it out and sold it. So that one I count kind of as my first car. But my first running and driving car was a 72 Pinto. And I tore down a barn for it. That one I actually was able to drive home, even though I blew it up in the driveway doing burnouts out in front of the shop. And it's also the first one I ever rebuilt. Oh, I'll take a look. I got it in on the charger. It's I think my phone is it's on its last leg, I think. Another Pinto. Back then, I didn't have much appreciation for them, and especially the Mustang 2s. I hated the Mustang 2s. But the Pinto, now that I understand them a little better, I would love to have a Mustang 2 or a Pinto. They're ultra light, very, very light. Just the geometry of the car, you can make something pretty doggone fun out of them little things. The trouble is finding them now. And I know they got the big old reputation of exploding when you hit them in the back, but they didn't do that. One or two out of what, 550 million of them? Good Lord, Ford made a lot of them. And they did correct it. Kinda. They put a steel plate back there and beefed it up some. Yeah, now you're talking there. A good friend of my dad's had one of them, painted bright red. and it had I think it was a 302 in it. It's been a long time. But that car would flat move. And that little bitty 302 fits right in there nice. Hey, Dakota, good to see you. And hubby, always good to see you, man. I think your information is on your homepage, isn't it, Ed? Oh, get caught back up on the chat here. Okay, there we go. Northwest Arkansas. They put a tombstone back there? You're talking about Topeno? No, but if you look on the back of a Pinto, well, they're long gone now. You don't have to worry about it. And you look at a first gen Mustang, you can see a lot of similarities there. It's just that Pintos got caught, got, you know, bumped. But the media craze over them, it was a little blown out of proportion. And it happened right at that time when they were, implementing all of the cafe and all of the safety regulations, and Nader was going all hog wild. So they just kind of took the Ford Pinto and stuck it right up in the forefront. Yeah, I think I have your number too. If you want, I can pass it on to. I've got hubby's garage's contact information as well. If you want, I can pass your phone number off to him. Your dad has a really nice 1980 Pinto. Quite sweet. Hey, and there's even throw a little butter on that biscuit. It's for sale. Is it the hatchback or the sedan? Or did they offer the sedan back in 80? I can't remember. That's what mine was. Mine was a little sedan. Had the little trunk lid that was only about that big. Sure, I'll pass that on to you. Which way am I going? Okay, I'll send hubby's information up to you, Ed. I'll do it both ways. 50,000 original miles. It runs good and drives like a brand new one. I know somebody that's in this chat right here that's got a couple of 2.3 turbo engines for them that would just fit right in there like a glove. One of my Pintos is the station version, or the stallion version. Sorry. And I have a 76 with the MPG appearance package. Hatchback. Yeah, just a great big old back window. And it's right at that right angle that the sun glares right off of it. It's just back there for looks. Because you can't see out of the dang thing. That's like those, 69 up Mustang. Uh, I, I know they're called a fastback, but I call them a flatback. When the Mustang was almost, the back window was almost flat across there. It was so, sculpted down. My goodness, those things are impossible to see out the back window. I see why they put those louvers on them. Try to cut some of the sun glare off of them. Yeah, there was some things, but just like everything, you get a little bit of something good, and somebody just takes it way, 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 way too far. And then there was the double standard with a lot of it too. Yeah, they did away with convertibles, most of them. And he made MG put that nasty, nasty, great big catfish looking rubber bumpers on all their sports cars. Yeah, it just neutered them. And all the others. The crash, what was it, 5 mile crash test bumpers on everything. And they were just hideous looking. And you could tell every car company that had to comply with that safety standard, they just went out and grabbed whatever they could and slapped it on there, because not one of them crash test bumpers from the 70s looks like it's supposed to be on the car. It all looks like JC Whitney afterthought, aftermarket stuff slapped on there, and they kicked it out the factory door. Natered. And then some of them had foam rubber packed, or styrofoam packed in them. I don't know. I see it when they're protecting other people's safety, but when it comes to your own personal safety, I'm a big proponent that should be left to yourself. Of course, unless you're on the racetrack, because then you're dealing with other people as well. But yeah, I better let that sleeping dog just lie right there on the porch before I get myself in some little bit of trouble. Yeah, there was quite a few of them that had that. It was almost flat all the way across there. Oddly enough, the original Barracudas with the fishbowl one though, you could actually see through it because it was curved, so it wouldn't glare so bad. You'd only get one sun glare stripe in it, but you could still see through the whole window. But boy, oh boy, do those cars get hot. Wow, that sun is like a magnifying glass back there. Yep, exactly. Like I said, knowing what I know now, ah, I would have kept a couple of them. Exactly. And they're ultra simple. They're before the years that everything got super complicated. So changing stuff around on them ain't that hard to do. Strip all the vacuum lines out of it, and heck, you lose about 20 pounds right there. You know, I thought that too. Uh, and Walt, our junkyard guy, he's actually got one out there. And I told him, boy, that back window there, you're sitting on a gold mine there. And he said, yeah, up until about 5 years ago I was, but now I guess there's a company repopping them, and yeah, it killed the market on them. He said I could have sold that back window. He's trying to keep the car complete, so he's had a lot of people stop and ask him to just buy the back window, and he's refused it all these years, trying to sell the whole car. He said, man, I should have done it because now the market fell out on the original ones. Oh, and that gives, yeah, that's a good one too. It's one of my idiot spots because I didn't have the camera going, but I've always been a proponent of using everything you can off these old cars, but I did learn a valuable lesson. I was pulling the windshield out of that 58 Ford. Now, the windshield is laminated glass in all of them. Of course, safety glass. And the way to get the windshield out of them easy is take a knife and go around and cut all of the rubber on the inside, and then you sit in it and put your feet up against the window and just give it a kick, and it'll pop it right out. Because otherwise, trying to get that chrome to come out of the rubber strip, oh, you'll bend it all to, yeah, don't do it that way. Anyway, I stuck my feet up on the windshield. It was broke anyway, so I wasn't too worried about it. And went to give it a kick. That glass exploded. Absolutely exploded. The windshield's supposed to be laminated glass with the plastic in the middle of it. Well, after sitting out in that yard for 65 years, because it's original, there ain't no lamination in it. I had shards of glass like this shooting back at me. Uh, this old glass is dangerous. Windshield, the old windshield glass is dangerous. If you're running one of these old windshields, replace it. Uh, that was an eye opener for me when I was pulling that out. If I would have been driving that car down the road and a good sized rock come up and hit that windshield, it would have exploded like pane glass in a house and shards. Oh, anyway, that was an eye opener for me that I just had happen in the shop, and I should have had the video camera going. The plastic, just the sun rots it, so it's not laminated glass anymore. You got regular pane glass. Yeah, at one time, I guess it was way up there. But like I said, people are repopping them now, and it's not too bad. Now, the side glass in that car, I'm going to run it. The back glass, I'm going to run it, but a brand new windshield for sure. Well, I had to get one anyway because that one was already broke, but yeah, good reason for buying glass. Yeah, at least the windshield. The side glass, how many times do you take a direct hit with side glass? That's very rare. Back windows, back glass usually lasts forever. It's nothing to walk through a junkyard, one of these old classic junkyards, and see every car out there with really good back glass because it hardly ever breaks. But a windshield, that that takes a direct hit. Hey, Van Life, and your Tri Five is almost identical to my Ford out there. Glass wise, I think the only difference is my wing windows go forward, and on the Chevy they're straight. Oh, and one thing I did learn about, I learned this in the repo shop. If you do change all your glass and you order your glass in, say through like LMC or any of those companies, they'll send you tempered glass for your side glass and usually your back window too. But if you get tempered glass, you have to change your cat whiskers, all your channels and everything, because all your channels are made for laminated glass. Everything back then was laminated and it's twice as thick. So if you run a lot of these tempered glass is a single pane, so it'll rattle in there or it won't seal. I've always called it cat whisker, the channel that the window rides up in. What's that? If I put a vacuum on an AC system and turn off gauge valves, should it hold that pressure? If not, I still have a leak in the system, correct? Which side? And make sure they're good gauges. And AC on a car, I don't mess with it very much. Around here, there's only few months out of the year that anybody's got to use it, so AC is more of a luxury up here. And I usually pull it off. That's usually one of the first things I pull off of a car is AC. Pull the compressor off of it and everything, strip it down. So I'm not the guy to ask on that one. Yeah, I lost Freon, so I just replaced the condenser and compressor. Dryer plus 2 Freon lines. Now I vacuumed it. Running through my noodle on this one. Like I said, I have done it, but make sure all your O-rings are good and you didn't pinch any if you did change any of them. And make sure that they're AC O-rings, not just the, standard rubber ones. I think they're green. If I remember right, they're green. How long do I stay on? Oh, I'll run for a while tonight. I don't know. I just kind of let you guys decide how long I'm going to be on. I run it until everybody just kind of dwindles down a little bit, and then we'll wrap her up. I just kind of go with the flow. Yeah, got the right ones in there then. What I found works really good is that Dawn Power Wash dish soap. It's like a concentrated dish soap in a squirt bottle. I use that to check for air leaks and all kinds of stuff because you can get right back and you can kind of direct it in as you're spraying it, and it's concentrated Dawn dish soap. So if any leak, it blows big old bubbles up. You can spot them really quick with that, and it's easy to clean up. Yeah, we have a reclaimer. Well, my dad does. That does all that. It's all part of the AC service that machine that he's got. It, you hook it all up on there, and it pulls the Freon out because you're supposed to reclaim it and all of that, and then it'll pull vacuum and all that stuff for you. Yep, that's mine. It would roll the window down. Oh Lord, you do out there, especially on a high top Sprinter. That's like a big old solar panel up there. I feel for you, man. That's just one aspect of the car stuff that it just didn't excite me at all. So I just blocked it all out. That it is. I have a couple of good friends in Bowie Wowie, northern Nevada there. Cool little town. If it's been leaking for a while, you can look at the drip tube for the evap and see if it has oil residue or glows when you put black light on it. Yeah. Hmm. I know the Freon, you will smell it. Like a first responder was saying here, when you first turn it on, you get a little funny smell come out. That's a pretty good sign that she's leaking there. I know I look for York compressors though. They make excellent air compressors on the old Fords, and that's usually where I find them. Is the old Ford AC compressors. They'll pump air up faster than the little electric uh, compressor units that they use for air ride that take forever to fill up. You run a York, you can air up in no time, and it works as long as the engine's running. Well, and your clutch is good on the your clutch pulley's all working and everything. We actually built a homemade tractor, yeah, out of an old Pinto. It's got a 2000 uh, 2 liter uh, Pinto engine in it, little Ford four banger, and it's running a York compressor on it with a great big air tank on it. We use that thing to go out back, drag cars around, lift motors around. Someday I got to do a video on that. Yeah, if it's not holding vacuum, you got a definite leak in it. Try the Schraders. Make sure it's not leaking out of the Schrader valves. Now you should be plugged into those though. Make sure nothing's hit the condenser up front too. Make sure the condenser's all clean, everything. Hey, sire, what's going on? Trying to figure out an AC leak. Blind. Condenser is brand new? Okay. Hey, Busted Radio. Good to see you, brother. Thanks for stopping in, man. Yeah, Sire, I seen you had some raccoon eyes today. I haven't had a chance to check out your stream yet, but I'll go back and rewatch it. All I seen was the thumbnail. So you must have had a pretty long day today. Yeah, the doubles, they're a little harder to convert, but if I remember right, they will run the same pressure. The old single Yorks, so good lord, they'll pump as much psi as you want to put into it. That's the cool thing. I'm reading this I'm learning a little too. Like I said, I don't know it all. That's for dang sure. Because AC up here is it there's like 2.5, maybe 2 months that you can use it. So it's kind of a luxury up here. So I've never really deep dove into it. Yeah. Yeah. Compressed air, you pop it. From a DIY standpoint, yeah, that's where it starts getting tough. Computer room HVAC, that's almost refrigeration level. Yeah. Yeah, van life. I kind of got a picture in my head of what everything it is that you've got to work with. And when it comes to all that, I think you'd be actually better off just taking it to the shop. Otherwise, you're going to be chasing your tail and wasting a lot of freon. That stuff ain't cheap. Hey, Shell. Hey, Wendy. Welcome home. Get caught back up here. Yeah, that's why you see the pitting and stuff in there. And if it's done that, your O-rings won't seal. No, then it gets into bad stuff. I'm not going to wish that on you. I made the guy at O'Reilly's fall out when I got header bolts when I told that I was getting them for. Yeah, well, it's running. And that's why I like that. Power wash, I think it's called. Dawn dish soap comes in a spray bottle. Yeah, because like I said, that stuff ain't cheap no more. That they do. Household HVAC's little different, and a lot simpler. So, like I said, I got the link up there. If anybody wants to click on it and come on in, I'll let you on in. Some valve thing too, like a manifold expansion valve, maybe. Can't remember. Hey, Smoke Wrench, what's going on? Yeah, but Smoke Wrench, just picturing all the stuff that you got right at hand to be working with. Whew, like I said, that one you might just be better off taking it in. Are you close to Elko? I know there's what, 3 shops there in Elko that I'm pretty sure could help you out. And they don't gouge you like some of the others. Closer to Reno. Reno's actually a little bit better. Yeah. trying to do this kind of work, just DIY, seat of the pants kind of stuff, is tough. It's dang tough. And those cheap gauges you get at like Harbor Freight and Walmart, yeah, they're to say subpar is yeah, that's a stretch. To say subpar is well, hey, Beamer. Yeah, that's a stretch.
What's up, man?
Hey, good to see you, man.
Nice.
To say subpar is
Nice meeting you about BareRose Garage, man. How you been, man?
What's up, man?
Hey, it sounds like you got a YouTube browser open.
Nice meeting you, man.
To say subpar is nice meeting you about BareRose Garage, man. How you been, man? What's up, man?
Hey, it sounds like you got a YouTube browser open.
Nice meeting you, man.
I
could
YouTube.
BareRose Garage, man. What's up, man?
Whoa. Let me turn my TV down. Whoa. Yeah, it's echoing. Sorry, man. There.
Hey,
How's
there
that?
you go. Now you got it perfect. Oh, man,
Sorry
dang
about
good to
that,
see you.
So everybody going to No Name Nationals, huh?
I'm going to push real hard to get my car there, but if the car don't make it, I'll sure as heck be there. I see you
Yeah, I
tried
didn't-
last year, but your health wasn't quite so good or something?
Yeah, I came down with, I guess, a COVID-19 or something. Got sick as a dog, and
Oh, Lord.
there was no way I was going to go down there and spread it to, Scott's Feed Shop and, some of the people I know, John Wilburn. I know some of these people that were going to be
Yeah.
there. And there was no way I was going to go down there with that cold and just pass it out to everybody. So it was really just, bad timing. I done paid $50 and punched my ticket to go and was working on a motorcycle we were going to drag down there. I think we'd have been the only motorcycle there. But yeah, I was planning on going. I had a friend of mine was going to take us down there in this 2001 GMC Sierra, and we replaced the high pressure fuel lines with some braided fuel lines and brake lines and brakes and transmission lines and just you name it, new tensioners, new belt, all kinds of work we done to this truck so it could take us down there. Then I got sick and got the truck done, got the bike done, even put a dead man switch, which I'd never done before on a motorcycle, put a dead man switch because you can't race unless you got a dead man switch. Got that on there. And then I got sick and wasted all that money, fixing that bike up and that truck up. He paid for the parts, but I did all the labor on it, and it was just a labor of love that I couldn't go. So
I see you sold.
it was terrible, right?
I was just looking on your channel, and you sold your 39 Zephyr?
Yeah, it was Axis Auto Parts sold us the 39 Zephyr, yeah.
Oh.
That's Jamie Phillips, Axis Auto Parts. That's my buddy.
Oh.
Yeah, I wish I had that 39 Zephyr because I'd have sold it and I'd have got the money. Jamie got the money. Wasn't mine. I wish I'd have sold it. I'd have left because it was so rough, that car he had, and he planned on fixing it. Jamie did, and I know he had good intentions to do something with it, and he realized he couldn't do it, and then he passed it on to somebody else that could, so it's going to be restored. Good thing.
Oh, sweet. I got them mixed up.
Yeah, I wish it was mine because I'd love to collect that money. I don't know what he got for it. He didn't say. Jamie's a pretty smart cookie, so he's not going to say on camera what he sold it for. He's pretty intelligent. He's not dumb. Good guy.
Yeah,
much like yourself, he's a good guy.
His link up there for everybody.
I've seen you got a lot of subscribers. How long you been doing this?
I started about a year before the No Name Nationals, but in that year I only had 40. Well, when John announced the No Name Nationals, I had 42 subs last year.
That's it.
For last year's.
Wow.
That's what
Yeah, I
I'm
can't share the link. I don't even know how to share the link. He might be able to, but share my link to my channel there. Is it Tebow? Yeah, Tebow. I can't do it. I don't. I'm amazed. It's only because of this gentleman here that allowed it and said something about it to click on the link that I was able even to join the live chat. So it's super cool. It's only the second live chat I've ever been in or ever done.
Oh,
Me and my
cool.
son did one a year ago, right around the No Name Nationals. It was probably August, and we did one, and it was our first time. We were down in the basement, we were shooting it, and out of nowhere comes Scott's Beat Shop, and I was about ready to close the live chat out, and then of course Scott's Speed Shop, Jedediah showed up. Jedediah Scott. I was like, oh, we ain't going anywhere now. You know, I mean, Scott's Beat Shop's here. Oh my God, you know. So it was pretty cool. You know, it was really cool. Now he's my mentor. Him and Thunderhead 289. These guys, you know, I got to meet both of them in person, and Thunderhead 289 was really the one that got us, you know, involved in it. And he said, you know, if you're going to do YouTube, you know, need to share it on all your social media, you know, get as much exposure. Well, you know, sharing it on social media, guys, is a joke. I mean, it's literally a joke because, you know, people, they don't understand how important it is to a YouTuber, and it doesn't cost you anything. It's to subscribe. So I fought it for, well, it's going on 4 years to get to where I'm at right now with 1,555 subscribers. And that's all we got. And we've been working at this almost 4 years. And I mean, I'm making videos, 2-3 videos a day. And that's why I got over 1,500 videos. I got more videos than probably most people that are in this chat. And I mean, I've just worked tirelessly over the last 3.5, going on 4 years on my channel.
Videos?
Do what?
You got 1,200 videos up.
Oh, yeah, excuse me, 1,200, not 1,500. Yeah. I got 1,555 subscribers. Thanks to this chat tonight, I got some more views. I got some you know, more exposure, some more subscribers. It's just a win-win, as you well know, that a live chat is, you know, obviously, if you're with the right people like you, it makes all the difference in the world, you know. So hats off to you for allowing me to, you know, be in your chat. We really appreciate you.
No problem. You're welcome anytime.
Yeah, I appreciate you. Like I said, we've only done one live chat, and it was, you know, pretty much a skeleton crew. You know, I can't see how many we got right now in the chat, but last time I saw, we were sitting around 22 or something. I was feeling pretty good about having 22, you know, because it was Saturday night. A lot of people were out and about, you know, and going about their lives, you know, and they're not sitting at home, you know, dreaming about the No Name Nationals or dreaming about going to a drag strip and dreaming about working on your car, because the day's done, you know. There's no more work unless you're going to be out there in the garage burning the midnight oil, which I've done. But my garage, if you've seen any of my YouTube channel, my garage is a little cluttered.
Yeah, I'm just going through videos here.
You could say I like to collect a lot of parts, and well, they ended up in the garage.
You've got really good titles, man. But you don't have anything in your description.
Do a little. Yeah, I need to do a little spring cleaning, but we've already passed spring. We're at full-blown summer now, so you know I need to get on that and finish doing. I got a Challenger that I really want to bring it to the drag strip. It's a former 10-second car, 340 with TA block, Trans Am block, guys. If you don't know what TA means for your non-Mopar guys out there, and it's got these X heads on it with a real thumper cam. It's just a radical car. I bought it for a song, and I'm trying to bring it back. It was a former 10-second car. I put it in the garage, I don't know, 4 years ago before my mother died, and was working on it. I put fiberglass fenders on it. I had a lot of dreams for it, and then my mother passed away, and I just lost all motivation of anything in life. You know, when you lose your, you know, most important thing, you know, in your life. Well, for me, was my mama. And yeah, I'm a mama's boy. I was, you know, I lost my mama. And my son created a YouTube channel, and it brought me back, you know, back to the automotive, you know, world, and back to, you know, life. And You know, he got this channel. I named it, and the rest is history. You know, and I met Thunderhead 289, Scott Speed Shop, Jedediah Scott, and his dad, Mike Scott. And,
Oh,
you
great
know, and of
guys.
course, now here I am, you know, in a chat with you. So,
It's kind of funny
you
how it
know,
works.
we got, like you said, over 1,200 videos, and they're dating back 3, 4, almost 4 years ago. And then there's an archives in my channel where I had more hair and I wasn't so gray and I had teeth. And those videos go back 10, 15 years. I allowed my son to videotape me for the past 15, 20 years, I guess. 10, 15, whatever it is. It's at least 15 years. It's probably been videotaped. I mean, I allowed it. But I never wanted to do anything with those videos because of my mom. I was protecting my mom. My mom and father were rich and they had a lot of money. So I never wanted to draw attention to, mom, because I was afraid somebody would, try to do something to mom or hurt mom, or, which would send me in an enraged, situation where whoever hurt her, well, let's just say they won't be doing too good tomorrow. It hurt my mama. But hey, what can I say? I love my mama, and she loved me, and so they bought me this house that I have out here in the country, about an hour from downtown Cincinnati. I'm out in the country, and my property is unzoned, and there's no zoning, so I can have 81 cars and trucks that we have. And so it was a problem with having that many cars over the years. I drove them from house to house and was booted by numerous zoning boards. Didn't want to have a guy with a bunch of cars in their township, and a bunch of crybabies. And I remember one neighbor where I was living at, a little place called Ohio Township, and a neighbor across the street said, "Man," he says, "all your cars you got over there, I'm trying to sell my property, and you're hurting my property value. I can't sell it." I said, "That's bull crap, dude." I said, "If anything, somebody's going to see my place and say, hey, I want to live across the street from that hot rodder." And that was the truth of it. And he did sell it, and he just sold it to a cool guy that was into cars, and him and I were doing swapping and I was working on some of his stuff. He was working on mine. I swapped a 4-wheel drive for a racing quad he had. We just had all kinds of, good adventures together. And then mom and dad bought me this piece of property out in the country, and I said, "Van, I got to go because the zoning's on my butt again." And it was so bad. The zoning was so bad that every year they would come over and do an inspection. And I had to produce titles. I had to make sure they were tagged, had to show that they started, ran, pulled forward, backed up, had brakes. You just wouldn't believe what I went through, BareRose. Unbelievable.
I believe it.
It was just unbelievable what they put me through. And in an average year, which I would spend $1,000 to $1,500, whatever cars I got in recently, tagging them, titling them, getting them running and driving, and it was just a huge endeavor, and there's some videos of that old place on my channel, and you'll see me, of course, like I said, with more hair and teeth and not so much gray. And I was riding a motorcycle doing little jumps across the sidewalk, and they're pretty cool videos that show some of the old animals I had in the day. And of course, it's been 11 years since I lived there at that property. So it was some really old archives that a buddy of mine was able to pull up in a memory stick we had, or actually it was a box. And we had that box put onto a memory stick, and then my son put it on the computer and we uploaded it. And the rest is history, So yeah, we got, over 1,200, probably close to 1,220 videos up right now, probably close to that, that everybody could see, What's that?
One thing I can tell you though is on your videos.
Yeah, we got one video that is really
is on your description.
It's an underrated video.
You don't
The
have
name of
any-
the video, BareRose, is called Going Muddin'. If you want to know what Beamer and Son Garage is about, look that video up, called Going Muddin'. Me and my son hopping an old beat up old 4-wheel drive I got for free. And I got a creek that runs right down the middle of my property, splits my property in half. And I tried to Evel Knievel this pickup, this 4-wheel drive Ford pickup, and jump the creek like Evel Knievel, right? The only problem was I didn't have any money, to build a ramp and didn't have time. So we winged it. We put this thing in the creek. It made it from one side of the banks to the other, buried it in the mud, and
Oh, that sounds like YouTube gold right there.
of me trying to get it out there and winch it out of the mud because it was buried up to the frame. But we had a lot of fun on the video. Like I said, you don't see the 3 days of me crying trying to get that thing out before it rained. The big rain was coming in, and I knew if I let that thing in that creek, the rain comes in, the creek turns into a river. And then I've got many videos showing this creek of mine of what it turns into when a big rain comes in, because all the storm drains and all the water all rushes into this creek and comes right down my property. And I mean, if you fell into it, it's rough enough to like a river. It would literally take you on down the creek. I remember one year I was out there looking at it, and there was a couple otters that were floating, or maybe they might have been beavers, and they were floating in this river, this creek. It's a creek, but I call it a mini river when the water comes up. And there's many videos of that. You just have to go back and start at the beginning, backtrack, or you can piece
I'll
it
have
out,
to
go from one video to another, like a lot of people do.
dig into that
But to
one.
really know
That
the
sounded
channel
like
and know
YouTube
me and
gold
my
right there.
son, you need to go back to the beginning, where we first started making. Like the very first video is my son and me, and I got an Oldsmobile that we bought out of a junkyard, and it's the one that you go to when you actually go to the channel. You'll see it's like I don't know, a minute video, and it's the one that you see. And I pull up and I do a big burnout in this thing, and we bought it for $500 out of a junkyard. We got it so cheap because no one could make it run. And I've been a mechanic for 40 years. I used to work on school buses for about 13 of them years, and then I bounced around at under car specialists, Midases, and car X's, and dealership. I mean, I went everywhere, different shops. I learned a lot of different things from a lot of people that were some really good techs, and I picked out all those, kind of picked their brains for everything I could learn, which made me a better technician. No, I'm not the best. There's always somebody better. You know this.
Oh
But
yeah, that's the way
I
this
enjoy it, I
whole
have fun with it.
automotive stuff works.
Yeah, I like to learn something new every day, and I don't care what it is. Some could be something simple to, something more difficult. But I've been a tow truck driver. I've towed for numerous companies, AAA, and that's an experience. The number one most dangerous job in the world is a tree guy. A lumberjack, a guy cuts down trees. Number two, you know what the number two most dangerous job in the world is?
Tow
BareRose?
truck,
Tow truck driver.
car recovery.
Number two most dangerous job in the world. Even more dangerous than being a police officer.
Kill you.
Yeah. It's a
Yeah.
it's a huge endeavor if you got the balls to try to take a job like that on. More power to you, because I've done it. I've been on police calls where there was fatalities and vehicles flipped upside down on top of people. Yeah, it's been a nightmare. I mean, I've seen more than my share of blood and guts out there on the road. Towing for different outfits. We used to tow for the one outfit I worked for. We towed for the OSP, which is Ohio State Patrol. And if you tow for one of them, you're going to get a fatality where you go out on the road. And I don't like that. I'd rather stay towing with AAA because those customers are alive. And I don't like rolling up on a tow scene to tow somebody's car and they're deceased.
Yes.
That really brings me down. But it's towing's what it is. I mean, if you want to get into it, get your feet wet in it. I'll warn you. Make sure you wear steel toe shoes. Make sure you have some kind of luminant type clothing on, like a vest or something. And if you're out there on the street at night, make sure you get on the other side of your truck and use your truck for, like I say, cover.
Shield.
When somebody loses control and tries to run into you, tries to keep the rollback in between you and them. Done it many times. Been lucky,
Yeah, we
Had
did
some
that for a
accidents.
little while, and we got the record just to go to get customer cars. And then we decided, we got the record. Why not get put on the list? And we did it for about a year and a half, 2 years, and that was it.
Yeah. What kind of wrecker you got? A hydraulic wrecker, wheel lift, rollback? What you got?
A 1961 International cab over, old cable winch.
Yeah,
That
probably
was the
got a
main
gas
one.
motor in it.
And then we built a recovery trailer.
Yeah, is it a gas job or what is it?
Yeah, it
Diesel?
was a gasser.
Gas job, yeah. Yeah, I
Had
like
a
that. I like that old, it usually probably like a
345
304
international
International V8. Am I right? Is it a 304?
on it. 340, 345.
Oh, well, that was, yeah, okay. That was before my time.
International's 350 is basically what it is. It's a good old truck.
I like the old Internationals, the old, the three, I think they had a 360 or a 304. Was it a
Yeah,
three?
the 304.
Yeah, 340. They had
Then they had
another
a
engine.
390. I
They
think it
ran
was
in the school bus. 345. It was a 345 cubic
345.
inch they ran with a 4 barrel, and they ran it with Holly carburetors on school buses. Of course, the governor, they had a governor on them carburetors, so I guess they didn't blow the engine. The bus driver would get pissed off at the kids and want to get them home as quick as they could. They'd hold that thing to the floor, and boy, they sure did, because I've seen it many times. The bus driver would climb in the bus, bunch of screaming kids, and she just wants to get them kids off her bus so she can get home, get in her car, go home, and feed her husband. And that's how them bus drivers were. They were, some of them were pretty wild behind the wheel. I'm telling you. I remember I dated a couple too that I was a school bus mechanic for 13 years, and I ended up dating a couple of them bus drivers, and they're kind of wild, man. You wouldn't think they would be, but them bus drivers, there's something, I'll tell you. Some of them are, and they're funny too, especially the older ladies. I say the percentage was like a 95% female, and the bus drivers, I don't care where you went at in the United States, it was always mostly females, and a couple males would, be in there, but more females than anything. And some of them are pretty comical. They would come in, especially the older ones, and have a joke or something, and to tell, some kind of tale, something, to talk about, And there was one lady, we'll just call her Alice, and I really connected with her. And she was funny. She'd always have to, I'd have to put a camera on her bus because she would have complaints from the parents. And so, for instance, I had to put cameras on her bus, and of course, I'd give her a little tip. Hey, you got a live one in there, so she knew that she was being recorded. But she would take the kids on the bus when the camera wasn't working, take them home, and they would drive by a cop, and all the windows are down, and she'd say "pig," and all them kids as that bus went by all yelled out the window, "Pig, pig, pig." It just, pissed off the police and pissed off, anybody that was on the side of the road, if you're standing there and you're a cop and a school bus, a whole school bus of 60 kids go by yelling "pig" at you, you're going to look at the number and you're going to report it. So this lady, she was comical, there was another guy in the street, and I don't know what his, sexual orientation was, but she said "gay." And as they drove by, all the kids yelled out, "Gay, gay." You couldn't help but love her, You couldn't help but love that bus driver. She was one of my favorites. We had a special bond, a connection. I remember there was a old girlfriend of mine that was having trouble with her, and she didn't know that parent of those kids was my old girlfriend. So she called me on the phone and said, "Hey, you know this bus driver? Alice, is we're going to use her name as Alice." I said, "Yeah." She said, "Well, she's giving my kids a hard way to go." I said, "Oh, really?" She said, "Yeah." I said, "I'll take care of it." Next day I went in and I took that bus driver aside. I said, "Hey, you know that Tina, her last name was Baker. Tina Baker is what her name was. Unfortunately, she passed away." And I said, "You know Tina Baker?" She said, "Yeah." I said, "Man, you're giving her kids a kind of rough way to go, ain't you?" I said, "Can you take it easy on them? Because I used to date her, and I still talk to her." She said, "Oh my God, that's your," I said, "Yeah, that's my ex-girl. That's my ex-lover." She said, "No problem." After that, never had no trouble with that driver with those kids. So he was special. I mean, some kids, let's face it, they're honoring. They get on the bus, they want to act up, they roll down the windows, they want to throw stuff out the window, and they just, they're kids. And the bus driver's got to try to, contend and, with all those kids, and I wouldn't do it. It was bad enough to work on them. Those little, we used to call them munchkins. they would tear the seat covers and put holes in them and just damage the bus. And, I don't know how many seat covers I changed, but my share, I'll tell you, more than my share of seat covers, and repaired them too. And the repair jobs didn't work because if you repaired the seat cover, the next day the kid would be picking at your repair.
Get something to
So
pick
you
at.
could sew it and glue it. Huh?
It's like a scab. They got to pick at it.
Oh, yeah, exactly. So no matter what you did, you could put a new seat cover on it, and then the kid would be like, well, were you? Oh, okay. So then they cut it again. And there was an old bus mechanic I worked with, and he was a character. Well, this one particular bus had this one particular seat cover kept getting chewed on. So I guess the kid was like teething, so he would chew on the seat cover. So this bus mechanic, he got tired of changing that seat cover. So he brought in from home some hot sauce. So he walked up to that seat and replaced the cover, and then he laced hot sauce on where the kid was chewing. So the next day that kid got on that bus, and man, I guess he started chewing. Boy, his mouth was lit up. He never chewed on that seat cover again.
That's how you keep your dog from digging under the fence. Put a little cayenne
Oh,
pepper
yeah?
around it.
Hey, I never knew
Well, I
that.
guess it worked on kids too. I don't know.
Oh, it worked real good on that kid.
I
That
never
kid never
chewed on
chewed on that
the
seat
fence.
cover again. I mean, it lit him
I
up. I don't
seen
know, it was
the
like some kind of
kids
hot
chewing on that
Tabasco
seat.
sauce or,
I
something
wouldn't
like I
put
guess
my
you put
mouth
on,
anywhere near it.
yeah, like hot you put on your conies or whatever, right? And he laid that on that seat cover. Boy, that kid never chewed that seat cover again. That's pretty funny, isn't it? But it's a true story. So what is everybody doing in here tonight, man?
Oh, we're just
How's
hanging
everybody
out
doing
for
out there?
Saturday. My
Man, I
life is
saw
pretty
you
much
in the other chat with Buck
open.
Does It, BareRose, and I
What's that?
wasn't subscribed to you. I don't know why. I just found you tonight.
Sometimes
So
if you
yeah, of
haven't
course
watched somebody's content in a while, sometimes YouTube
yeah,
will cancel the subscription. So you got to
yeah.
kind
Well,
of
Buck
refresh them every now and then.
Does It. He was an old guy that my friend Jamie Phillips, Actions Auto Parts, was subscribed to and giving shout outs. And I never heard of him until I heard my friend Jamie Phillips giving him shout outs. And so I, instantly, started picking up on him. And then there was another guy, Auto Salvage Outlaws,
Oh yeah,
and he was giving
ASO.
him shout outs. So that guy was super. And I was giving him shout outs. He was giving me shout outs, putting links on his channel to my channel. And that helped me out tremendously, and everybody, I guess, helps everybody, once you get to know them, once you, get to meet them. And of course, my biggest one was of all time is Scott Speed Shop. I don't know
Yeah,
if you can put the link to his channel, but
Jed's
there's the holy one right there. Jedediah, Scott Speed Shop. That's my, all-time favorite YouTuber. You can go to his channel, check it out, and see some of the cool
He's
stuff he
that
does and has done. Yeah, he's my buddy. I love him.
I talked to his dad for good Lord, a good half hour or so at the No Name Nationals last year, and it was good. Jed was busy.
Yeah.
He was busy working on the cars, but I talked to his
Yeah,
dad for quite a while. Good.
I stepped on his toes a little bit after he blew his transmission out and didn't mean to. And I told him, I said, look, you blew up your 4-speed. Why don't you stick a 727 in their built to withstand all that, big block horsepower he's got, so it don't blow up. And, an automatic's faster in a quarter mile. Supposedly an automatic is the way to go anyways. And I guess I didn't mean to, and I upset him. He said, I would rather, burn the car down before I'd ever put an automatic back in. And I'm like, oh, excuse me, sorry. I was just saying, I mean, I didn't realize it was an automatic to start. He changed it over to a 4-speed
Yeah.
instead of diadem. Didn't know that. I mean, I haven't went back into his archives. I'm sitting here talking about going into my archives. I need to go into his archives and go way back to the beginning and start, and we did watch a lot of it, especially when he first got Jezebel. And I just call his car Jez, and he puts the whole Jezebel in there. It's just Jez to me, or Jess, excuse me. I call it Jess. And I love the car. And I inquired to try to buy it, and he was like, no, no. And I don't blame him. He says, I'm not selling the car. I'm the caretaker of the car. And when I'm not, he says, I'm just going to, destroy the car. It's, I'm like, oh, man, don't do that. And I don't want that to happen to any of my cars. If I pass on, which we're all going to pass on someday, okay? Hopefully, a longer time, from now. But my cars are going to go to my son. And so I don't have to worry about that. I've got to get a will made upstate and that, but that's where all my, the property, the cars, the tools, everything I've collected over the last, oh God, 40 something, probably 45 years of my life. I still got tools I've had since I was a teenager. I need a top loader 4-speed for a T-Bird. What year T-Bird? Probably a long tail, I guess.
Top loader Ford right now. Any I can get my
Is that a
hands
big?
on.
Is that a big? You need a big block, probably what they call a big spine for that T-Bird. Don't you auto salvage?
He's running a little 302 in it.
Oh, okay. So a top loader 4-speed for like a Mustang would work.
Yeah.
The only thing I got right now is I do have a 4-speed, but it's the overdrive flavor. It was in like a 75 Granada. And that might be what you're looking for. Actually, I don't know if you're planning on dragging a car, if you're going to make it streetable, but that would be what I would probably put in a car like that. I mean, wouldn't put that 4-speed in like a Mustang that I'm going to be out here trying to, bust somebody's ass with. Which I would never do that. I would never street race.
Well, they are. They're a 3-speed with overdrive.
Every time I get on the road, I'm racing with somebody. I don't care if I'm driving my 4-cylinder Toyota, Corolla, or anytime I get on the street, it's always somebody, it seems like tailgating me or, trying to pass me. And I don't like when somebody passes me. I don't like it, and I'll speed up if somebody tries to pass me, and it'd be like a drag race, 2-lane. And, you'll see somebody coming the other way, and he's either going to back off of it or I'm going to back off of it. But someone's going to back off first because we're not going to get a head-on collision. I'll back off and let them over if they are really keeping up with me. But I hate it when somebody passes me. I don't know about you or not.
Whoops.
You like when somebody passes you, BareRose?
Me? I drive like an old man.
You don't care. Let them go right on by.
I'm the guy that
I can't stand it.
I drive by the tax, so I don't care what speedometer, what the speed limit says. I don't take it over $2,000. I just let it just sip the fuel as I go.
Yeah.
Now, when I was younger, that's a different story. But
yeah, well, I just I'm 60 now, and I do have the tendency of letting them by nowadays. But once in a while, I get that spark, and I'm like, nah, you ain't getting by me. And I just put the pedal to the metal. Nah, that's not happening on my watch, And then next thing you know, you're 60, 70, and you're exceeding the speed limit by quite a bit. And it can get a little hairy. I mean, but no, I don't like it. Never did like it when somebody passes me, Just, I don't know what it is. It's just,
but
I can't explain it. It's a male thing, I guess. You know what I mean? It's a male thing.
Then drive them. When it comes time to drive them, I lose interest.
Well, I mean, if you're going to go
I have all my fun in the shop building on them.
Building a car and spending all that money to build one, why not enjoy it to the max, My Mach 1, I did this car, oh God, I guess it was in my 30s. Something like, no, it was in my mid-20s. And I remember the supervisor of the bus garage was drooling because I was building this 69 Mach 1 I bought for $800. I took the engine out, sent it to a machine shop, had it bored 30 over, 10.5 to 1 TRW flat tops put in it with special cam, specced out with an intake carb all matching. And then I sent the transmission to Amco. I don't know if you guys remember them. There's probably not many of them left. AA MCO. I sent the training and had them build it. And, well, actually not build it, rebuild it. And third gear, synchronizer, third gear, replace, blah, blah, blah. Cut it all back together, and I put a torque or two intake with a big Holley 750 dual line single pump vacuum secondary because that's what the guy specced out that the engine needed. And I got it all done, and I remember taking it to work, and my supervisor was like, God, I wish I could do that. And I didn't say nothing to him, but I wanted to say, dude, look, you're making more money than me. You're a supervisor. I'm a peon bus garage, bus jockey. And you got the money, you got the house. I think I was living in my mom's house at that time. I didn't even have a place of my own. I was building a car out of my mom and dad's garage. And supervisor was jealous. And I'm like, you can do it. Anybody can do it.
Dakota.
How are y'all doing?
Oh,
Hey, what's up, man?
we got Dakota's time.
There he is. Elvis Salvajallo. That's the guy. What's up, man?
How's it going, baby?
Who else? Oh, Dakota. What's up there, Firebird, man?
That's right. Yeah, y'all check this out.
Man, I have to get my other phone out now because I don't have him. I don't have Dakota, the Firebird man. I'm not subscribed to him. I gotta.
There it is.
Time out.
Yeah, that's Dakota. Come out.
I'm literally watching this on my flat screen. In my right hand, I'm doing a live chat with you guys, and in my other hand, I'm going to my YouTube to subscribe to Dakota. I mean, talk about all hands on deck here, Jesus, Lord help me, Let's see here, Dakota.
Dakota's link again.
Yeah, I got a Firebird like this one right here.
What do you got there, Firebird man? Obviously, you got a Firebird, right? What year you got?
Man, he got a yard full.
Like this one.
Oh,
He's
wow.
He's
That
like
looks like a
y'all.
73. Is it 1973?
They got anything known to mankind sitting in that yard.
74, huh?
What did you say?
Is that what you said? Is it a 74 you said?
Yeah, it's a 74. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, man. Those are the cool ones, man. 455 4-speed, man. It ain't much cooler than that,
Mine's a 455 with a turbo 350. Almost there.
I got to turn my head for a second because I got to put in Dakota's channel here so I can. Yeah, I don't know how to do that thing. I tell you what, I'm all thumbs when it comes to this stuff. Okay, my son is like the computer whiz and all that. My son does all this for me, and he's actually, I think he's in the other room sleeping. I don't even know this is going on.
Right.
I'm surprised he hasn't come in and go, Dad, I see you on YouTube. I'd imagine we're going to have to monetize this too, I guess. Wouldn't you? Don't you have to monetize it? You guys have that trouble when you make a video, you upload the video, and then you got to monetize it. On top of that, it's like, wait a minute, YouTube. I have paid my dues. I have done my share, and every time I make a video, you make me separately monetize every video. What a pain in the neck. I don't know why it's like this, but it's just, it's a really, and they run you through the ringer, to try to get your videos out and monetized, and you're not going to make any money at this. You guys all know this. I mean, you're not going to make any money. I was told by Scott Speed Shop, who to me is a YouTube god, and he told me, he says, you're not going to make any money doing this. And, he said, I don't make enough money to even buy any parts with. So and he's right, because we've gotten 2 paychecks in the 4 years we've been doing this now. And yeah, it was chump change, Actually, three checks. We got one last year and only got 2 checks this year. So yeah, I mean, you can't afford to pay your electric bill with the money that I'm making anyway.
If you really,
you guys might be doing better than me. I hope you do, Dakota, the Firebird.
It's a tough way to make a living.
Yeah, it is. It's really tough. I really thought, when I first started doing YouTube, I thought I'd be Richard Rollins. I thought I'd be Richard Rollins. I thought I'd be Gas Monkey Garage by the end of the week. I told my son, I got 81 cars out here, and I'm going to do some crazy shit on this channel. We're going to jump this creek with a pickup truck with no ramp, Evil Knievel style with no ramp. We're going to do some crazy stuff, and we'll be, Gas Monkey Garage by the end of the week. Ha, ha, ha. Was I wrong?
What did you jump?
I jumped the creek out here with a 4-wheel drive pickup, and the creek's a pretty good gap, it splits my property in two. This creek does. It's more like a river, especially when it's raining. And I just put my boy in it, and he was holding the camera, and I drove the truck and drove it right down in the creek and buried that thing. And it was fun. But like I said, I told BareRose earlier. I said when I was first talking about that particular video, the video is called "Going Mudding," guys. Check it out, "Going Mudding." It was a fun video, and but it doesn't show is the three because I buried it to the frame, and I couldn't get it out with my sling truck. I couldn't get it out with my wrecker. I had to take two trucks to get it out. It was a nightmare. 3 days laboring. I mean, I was down there with a shovel and a pick and trying to dig it out. Oh God!
I'll a Thunderbird. I'll show you how to jump that ditch.
Ain't right.
The Dakota's gonna bring his Firebird. We're gonna come up and show you how it's done.
Yeah, we're gonna. Hey, I just
and jump the creek.
Yeah.
Might as well jump a canyon.
I'd like to see that. There's not been many things that jump this creek. There's been a couple motorcycles, a couple quads, but no one's ever tried a pickup truck or a car. And I don't think I'm going to do that with any of my cars. And I tried it with that truck. It didn't make
it. See, baby, me and Dakota's from the South. We'll jump that creek.
From Alabama?
Yeah. A lot of things are different from the South. I agree with you there, man. I totally agree with you there.
You got to have a car named after a bird.
Firebird, man.
Bird.
We're the bird crew.
Well, I got him now. Let's see if I can pull it up. Oh, of course it did. I don't know why. I always have trouble trying to find one of you guys. It's just so disturbing,
I've got like a red flag picture.
He's listening to Dakota's timeout.
There it is. Dakota the Firebird, man. Okay, why can't I
throw everybody off?
Okay. I guess I'm doing pretty good today. Yesterday I was sick. Yesterday I didn't get out of bed yesterday.
Did you type
Oh man, sorry to hear that, man. You was sick all those Savage Outlaw?
Yeah, I was sick all day yesterday.
You feeling better now?
Oh man, sorry to hear that. Was it the corona or was it something else?
I think my sugar got up too high.
Yeah, I don't know what it was last year, right around the No Name Nationals. I'm going to call it a mini corona because, man, I was sick as a dog for like 3 weeks. So I missed the No Name Nationals last year because of this, corona garbage I got. And I spent a bunch of money out, bought my ticket, punched my ticket to go to the show because, Jedediah was going to be there, Scott Speed Shop, and fixed this motorcycle up to race it down there. Had Jeff's, what's his name? Two Hacks Garage, Jethro. My buddy Jeff was going to be there, and I actually had a grudge race with him set. And then I got sick and didn't go. And they had a $500 check down there. What's his name? John Wilburn, and it was Hoopty Barn. What's his name? Can't think of his first name.
Big Mike.
Hoopty Barn guy. You know what I'm talking about, don't you? He's really he's the one that you go to for a fuel fund. Bob's Hoopty Barn, or no, it wasn't Bob's. It was something else. I can't think of his name. I got it wrote down here somewhere. But he had a $500 check in my name, and make it there, and the $500 check would have been paid for fuel, and we just had to make it there, and I couldn't get there to get the check. It was really upsetting. I mean, but I hate it. It is what it is. I just had to go on and try to learn from it, and maybe I can do it. This year I'm planning on. It's a real problem for me because it's a conflict of interest because the same weekend that the No Name Nationals going on is the biggest car show in southeastern Ohio called the Pumpkin Run. And it happens every year at the Owensville Fairgrounds. It's so big they have to have it at a fairground. It's humongous. There's over 2,000, 3,000 cars there. There's swap parts, car parts, there's Elderbrock's there with the Holly. Elderbrock's there with the Elderbrock carburetors. Holly's there with their big trailer. I mean, it's a really big thing. And
Turner
so
was like he did the ring with Mike Tyson today.
yeah, it's it really needs to go on the map. The Pumpkin Run of Owensville Fairgrounds. It really needs to be put on the map because it's a great show. A lot of people don't even know about it. It happens in it's actually what do they call that? It'd be southeast Ohio at the Claremont County Fairgrounds, and that's where it happens at. It happens right at the end of the weekend of September, and it's like they call it the Pumpkin Run because October's coming. It's right at the end of the first weekend of October, and it's the end of September. But it's right around the No Name National Cup. Now it looks like the No Name Nationals is it the 21st, 2nd, 3rd this year, or 22nd, 3rd? Anybody know where the date is on that? Auto Salvage Outlaws?
I'm not sure. When is it, BareRose?
Put me on the
Right.
spot. Last weekend of September.
When is it, Dakota?
Just
Breaking
moved
up.
because of the
For some reason, my internet's breaking up.
22nd. Oh,
Not
Lord.
getting a lot from it. All right, there we go.
Now
Now I'm back.
days from now.
My brain got fried today. You got too.
Sawyer, you look like the kind of day I had today.
I'm still looking for the Dakota the Firebird.
It's Dakota's Timeout's the name of the channel.
Yeah,
Hey,
that van didn't want to play nice.
Dakota, type down in the message box. Let me post your channel. I can get your link to your channel.
Looks like we lost Beamer there.
I know.
Looks like his internet dropped.
Hey, Dakota, type in the chat box. Let me get your link.
Yeah, Sawyer, this is Dakota's Timeout. We got royalty in the house.
Cool.
Dakota's famous.
I'm a famous guy,
Cool.
But,
I like meeting myself some famous people.
Right on.
He's killed to George Washington.
Hey, well, yeah.
Mostly if they're talented famous people. And I assume you're very talented.
Yeah. I'm
Oh,
You're trying to come back in, Beamer. Looks like you're having internet troubles or something.
Hey man, y'all want some good coffee? Y'all need to hook up with Stephen Holtz.
Better get.
There it goes.
Just drive
All
it.
right, guys, it's 10:30, so I'm going to jump out of here and just kind of kick back and watch you guys and turn up my volume on my TV. And we'll see you in the
Okay.
next one, man.
right.
Thanks for having me,
Beamer, and it's
BareRose,
great meeting you.
and nice talking to you, Auto Salvage Outlaw, and Dakota. I appreciate you. And
Yeah,
it's your
anytime.
turn. Nice meeting you too, man. See you in the next one, guys. Bye-bye.
See you in the next one.
Cheers, buddy. I'm just trying to. Do you have a channel, Dakota?
I don't think so. What was the name of your channel?
My channel is it's Sayer Mobile Diesel. So, I was hoping you had a channel because I like giving subscribes to new people that I just met. And I like following talented people. So
All right. Yeah, I see.
There we go.
I already got Auto Salvage. He's on my list now.
All right. Yeah, my
There, I
channel's
got
on.
his link up there.
Yeah, good deal. We're in good shape now. Yeah, I've got some pretty cool stuff on my channel.
Cool. Awesome. Well, I'll give you some watches, some likes, some subscribes, and promote.
Appreciate
And
that.
It's coffee time.
Oh, I
Cowboy hand warmer.
It's coffee time.
So what was you up today, Sawyer?
What was that?
Was it another Ford that was beating on you today?
No, it was a Chevy van with a stripped out rad plug.
Oh.
And it's a little it's the one that you have to use the 1/4 inch, or you have to use the 13/16 to hex to get out. So it's the evilest one, and it's in the van, so you only got like 3 inches to play with. And while I'm down there, everything that was attached to the bottom of that van fell on my face.
Looked like you went either 3 rounds with Jose Cuervo or 3 rounds with Tyson.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing is I did a stream earlier today, and first thing that was coming out of people's mouths is what did the other guy look like? No, we were out back, and he just took a left, and then he took a right, and I hit him with an uppercut.
Oh, man. Man, oh, man, oh, man.
So how's the Firebird coming there, Dakota?
Well, I've been driving it probably playing, and it ain't. It's been doing pretty good.
Oh wow, you got some nice projects there, Dakota.
Yeah, I got some cool stuff going on.
Oh, they've got a lot of them over there.
We got a few of them. So if you don't like one, you don't like the other. Huh?
I'm gonna go up there and meet them one day, and I'm gonna spend about an hour or so doing nothing but filming, and then I'll have enough videos for the next year.
Do that.
Jeez.
Yeah, there's Dakota's channel.
Oh, look at that little old red wagon. Jesus.
And there's Mr. Ed in the middle.
My Lord, that is a beautiful looking red wagon.
Yeah, I like it. I like that truck. I was hoping that would more views.
And it's a genuine too. It even has the original stacks on it.
That's the real deal, man.
You take that horse and give him some bubble gum, and then be chewing it, and then you sit there and talk behind the camera and get him on talking on the front of the camera, see? And then you get some stuff. Yeah, a talking horse.
Pretty slick right there.
Lord, man,
We got
that
first responders garage gym.
I wish that little red wagon was up here where I am. I'd be freaking all over that thing like a fat kid on Smarties. I love it.
And these people, I about begged them to sell it.
That's another Southern boy.
What's going on, first responder?
Hola. How you doing?
Is there?
One of these days I'll get all these buttons figured out.
He's going to crank that Dodge up.
Oh.
No, gotta wait for that computer to come in.
Man, I thought the other night, I was ragging you so bad. I felt bad because I actually thought you was doing it on purpose, and I was just throwing it at you. And then I realized about 10 minutes before the video was over that you wasn't messing around. Then I thought like, oh man.
That was for real.
I was like, all through the video, I was thinking, oh man, he just joking around. He just waiting, making this video longer. And then about 10 minutes before the video was over, I'm thinking, oh, he ain't joking.
Man, it almost felt like a fire for a second.
Yeah. I was like, Lord have mercy. If you get it back first, and you hook it all back up and don't crank, because I was reading up on that system after the jump the neutral safety switch and jump it, because that neutral safety switch is going to keep it from starting.
It's not hooked up to the neutral.
You got it bypassed.
Yeah, it's just running through the ECU.
The rest of the truck runs off the truck.
Right.
But the engine alone, that's its own thing.
Right. I had the same problem out of a Pontiac Grand Am that I almost left on the side of the highway, and I wanted to throw about 10 gallons of gas on it and watch it burn and roast marshmallows on it.
And collect that money.
Yeah, it was paid for.
If it don't crank over, I'm going to throw a carburetor distributor on it.
There you go.
Problem solved there.
Yeah.
What got my noodle to working was when it popped the fuse, though. When you hit the button, I was, oh, okay, something's not right here.
That ended up to be the test light actually hit the valve cover.
Oh, okay.
Ooh. Yeah, we bought a Grand Prix, Grand Am, whatever that thing was. Grand Prix, I think it was. The more we drove it, the more money we spent on it. We had to run to town. We lived about 18 miles from town. So going to town was an all-day trip. We get in the parking lot of Walmart in this car, get back in the car, it won't start. So here I am, I'm thinking, I'm out here in the middle of the parking lot with no tools on me. So I run over next door to the parts house and borrow a scanner and go over there and scan, and there's nothing that come up. So I get on my phone and I'm reading about it. Oh, really? Okay. So I ripped over there and pulled the kick panel off. It is a yellow wire or white wire. I pulled it off, cut it, took my ohm meter and figure out what ohms I needed, and then run out of Radio Shack, got my ohms and tied them together and made a loop and hit the switch. That's how we go.
Heck yeah.
That was the one with the module pack?
Yeah, it was. On the front. The ones that make you say dirty words trying to change out.
All of them.
Yeah.
We went and we bought it, had 4 brand new tires from Walmart. In a week, I blowed all 4 of them out. And Walmart changed 4 of them. And then the next week, 2 of them blowed out. And then they told they couldn't warranty the tires no more.
Huh.
That's okay.
Car had some bad luck on it.
Man, that car was haunted by something.
You steal that car?
No, I didn't steal it. I wanted to take it back while I bought it and park it up to my ass.
So BareRose, did you see the GTO my scrapper kid brought in?
Not yet. I seen the video though that you got up.
What?
I'm gonna be doing another video on it. It was and it's a runner and driver right out of the barn. It's a little rough around the edges, but
What model is it?
What year?
Actually, I haven't taken a look at the VIN yet, but from the body, I'd say it's probably 68, 69.
Oh, that's a good one there.
That's a dang good one, man.
and he picked it up for all of like $800.
Oh man, 800 Canadian?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He's been getting some damn good finds lately. Like, I don't know where he's digging them out of, but he's digging them out, and he's been getting them for good deals too.
Did y'all see that? Did y'all see that GTO I posted on there from Barrett Jackson?
Nope.
I didn't
I
click
don't
on the
even
video,
watch
but
Barrett Jackson.
I meant to watch that.
Y'all didn't watch
That'll
it?
scare you.
It's a high dollar car, buddy. I'm here to tell you.
Yeah, I'd like to know who bought it. It's probably Barrett Jackson that bought it.
No, it was sold at Barrett Jackson, and the guy here locally brought it from Barrett Jackson. It was nice. It was sharp, but it's nowhere near number one car.
I know they do a lot of that stuff.
Yep. Yep. Yeah, it's nowhere near. It on the scale of 1 to 10, it'd probably rank about 4 or 5, maybe. If it wouldn't have had repaint on it and would have been left alone, then it would probably score a little bit between 2 and 3. But it's nice. And then that other Pontiac Grand Prix, a 71 Grand Prix, that was pretty nice. First, you gonna get it fired up?
No, I need the screen for it to interact with the computer for it to fire up.
You're
I
just
set the
waiting on that.
technology.
You tell them to hurry up and send that back to you?
Well, they received it Friday, so I don't expect to hear back from them for another week.
Yeah.
Golly.
Yeah.
Holy moly.
Yeah, it's
Which kid is this, Damien?
this is the Terminator X.
Terminator X.
Yeah, I got the LS coil kit wired into it.
Got to correct myself. It's a Dart GT. It's not the GTO. It's just the GT. But
Hey, that's still nice.
no.
Wait, show that again. I missed it.
There we go.
Nice.
That's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
Got the badging too. All the badging is intact on it.
How much is that American money he give for that?
Well, if it was American dollars, it would have been about $700 US.
I tell him I give him his money back.
Not even done.
Yeah.
It's actually kind of funny because yesterday I went through and I tuned it up, oil changed it, done everything, went over, inspected it. We got one guy coming in from Vancouver to give $8,000 for the thing.
Ooh.
Nice.
Ooh. Well, it's time to send cars to Canada. BareRose, get the truck ready.
we don't have much old steel anymore because our scrap yards during the COVID, they squished everything. You would cry if you saw the stuff that they were squishing.
Yeah.
Like you guys would cry.
Yeah, Sawyer's up in British Columbia.
What do they give me for my car?
Yeah, we're gonna be trying to get across the border. I'm gonna sell my car.
The car you
in Sandpoint.
can get about no
That's
job.
the thing is a good car that's got the right look and right year for the right buyer up here. Like your Firebird and that and your Camaro, you'd probably get anywhere from 6 to 10 for that. Easy on a walk in the park. You probably push 15, 16. So, and that's US dollar, not Canadian. So Like that little red Dodge that you got, you could probably get about 30, 40 grand for that thing up here, just as it is, no work.
I wish I had mine.
Dakota, I'm coming over and we're getting that Dodge and we're going to Canada.
We
It's got a shortage of plastic steel up here. It hurts.
How much they give my Thunderbird? I'll load that thing up tonight and take it to Canada.
Now Thunderbird, I'm sorry, man. We don't believe in those things.
Oh, okay.
We call them Thunder Chickens. A good Thunderbird. That's a good Thunderbird. Probably being about 10, 15 grand.
Well, I'm going to. I'm leaving out tonight. Thunderbird's going to Canada. I'll just go get me a Hellcat for no name manuals.
Leaving out. That's the thing. It's like,
Where are you finding a Hellcat for 10 grand?
It's insane what stuffs are going for. But that's the thing. Like my '96 Chevy, just the way that it's my old 6.5 diesel. I can flip that thing right now for about $4 grand, but it's only worth maybe 800.
Between about $5,500 and $9,000.
Yeah.
But it takes about 6 months to put it back together.
And you'd be amazed at how many people are going
down in parts
across the border right now. Like I saw cars that would have gone for big money just get totally flattened out and squished and put on the barge. That I've seen we had an old Cadillac that we had a 56 Cadillac that got squished up. The thing was the body was mint. It just needed a motor. Didn't have a motor or transmission, but everything else was mint on it. They just rolled right over it, throw it in the squisher, gone. We had some old Edsons. We had some old Edsons up here. They all got squished. Like it was horrifying. Like we were sitting there just crying. Like no man.
How much is that Dodge at first is working on? How much they sell for up there?
Oh jeez.
The Durango looking things. They sell pretty good.
They sell relatively good, yeah.
Well, we're going back there and get his and carry it to Canada. We're going to give them headaches. You don't hear it sound.
It's kind of funny. We've got Canadians going down the U.S. for classic metal, and we got Americans coming up to Canada for our low mileage vehicles. Because we're in kilometers. Our 200,000 kilometers is only like 80,000 miles. So we're already ready to. That's done. It's done for. It's no good.
Oh.
And you guys got some of the freaky ones up there, like the Mercury pickups and
Fargo trucks.
Yeah, I mean, basically,
whenever we see whenever we see the old Fargos and the old Mercuries, Mercury trucks, that's the one thing we don't squish up here is trucks. We do not crush trucks. No, that like it's a criminal offense up here. If you squish a truck, you're going to jail, man. You're gonna find out. But we got lots of old trucks. The old Fargos. We got some of the old Jeep trucks. Got lots of those old Jeep trucks up here. We've got tons of internationals.
Or even cooler.
I'd love to get a tailgate, just a tailgate for a Mercury.
Well, there's probably one sitting somewhere in this yard because I've got a pile of tailgates.
Heck yeah.
I want me one of the Mercury trucks.
That's all it is. Throw it on a Ford truck. There you go.
Yep. There you go.
It's just a rebadge is all it is.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's why they're called a Fargo, because you can take the Fargo emblems off and put Dodge right back in their spot. It's the same holes, even.
Yeah.
got a 57 Dodge out back.
Ooh. I'd be picking that.
Not only that, but you can take the steering column off and switch it over to the other side too. The dash cluster, everything swaps over to the other side.
Yeah, I wanted to build me like an old time Mustang been hitting the front. And I was going to build it, and I was going to build me like a Mad Max machine out of it.
Hey,
Flat blanket, and they give you some metal, weld in what the windows is.
I'll put your machine gun on it.
Yeah, that's why I was going to build me a Mad Max machine. Then I was going to take a 351 Cleveland.
So you're the kind that buy a bulldozer?
Yeah,
Are you the kind that's going to buy a bulldozer and cover it with cement?
Hey,
right. Hey, if I can get a bulldozer and run about 160 miles an hour, I'll put them on the track.
Yeah, I don't care. That guy to me is a legend. That guy that cased himself in the cement in that bulldozer and leveled that town. That guy's a legend.
Yeah,
I ain't paying my property taxes no more. Damn no.
his name was Marvin Hemo.
Somebody made him mad, boy.
Have y'all watched that documentary?
Yeah, I did not too long ago, and I'm like, holy cow.
Just watching that documentary makes me want to go mow the town down.
Yeah, I want to build that 05 Mustang, put a 351 Cleveland under it, then put fuel injection on it.
Oh, no.
And then sit back and blow the pistons out of it.
You go like for the fuel injection.
Yeah, I've always wanted a 351 Cleveland. Punch it out about 40 over, and then run fuel injection on it.
Talk to Cousin Mike.
Hey, y'all, my battery on the phone's about to die.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Man, y'all gonna have to get y'all a charger.
Well, I'm gonna have to do something. It's on 42% when I started. Y'all done.
I wish you need to buy it for a computer, but if I do, y'all won't be able to see it. See, it's over here signing this picture thing. It shows me that's $20.
Time for me to go collect money. Customers here. I'll see you guys in a bit.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Hurry. Hold him down.
Enjoy seeing you, buddy.
It's great seeing you tonight. Thanks a million for coming in, man.
Watch, y'all. I'm gonna go ahead and close her down and get her card. Appreciate it, y'all.
Oh yeah.
More than welcome anytime, man.
Right on. I'll be back again.
Oh, good.
It'll be charged up next time.
And I'll leave the dome light on for you.
Yeah. Yeah, I even give you a charger.
Y'all have a good one.
Y'all. Hey, Burns, don't worry about doing anything that thing. We hauling that thing to Canada. We're gonna take care of your problems. They sell good in Canada. Don't worry about it. We're gonna go rent us some Dodge Demons, and we're gonna run them up there at No Name Nationals. We're gonna go rent us a Hellcats. So we're gonna take that to Canada.
I know what kind of mindset you're in now, Damien. When I get into that too, my mind clicks, and I can't think of nothing else but that, and I'm gonna get it. Oh man, I know, man.
Yeah, I get so bad thinking about something like that, I will not sleep at night until I figure it out.
Yeah. Right now, I'm just going through the harness. Putting some heat wrap on the coil harness. Kind of tucking everything away.
and I'll be the first to admit, usually it's a Ford that I'm struggling on. Like this. I'll come in the house looking like Sawyer there, and the wife says, "Oh, you're on another Ford."
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Veronica knows when I'm working on a Ford.
She can smell it from this shop.
Yep.
But they're all like that. Really, they're all like that. They just got their different quirks in the different spots.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, all of them good cars want to take care of them. But the problem is people don't take care of the cars, and then they wind up being junk. I just don't like them 4.7s and them little Dodges right there. I done had one bite me.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
4.7
break in the house.
half size bearings in between the.
Yeah. Yeah, I had to go all the way I had to drive all the way to Tennessee just to buy a set of heads.
I've had a roll of this.
This is the part where I lose my happiness. So going through the electrical like that.
Oh, I can't stand the electrical, period. Car or anything. No, because I got the 351 heads over in Georgia, probably not too far from you. I was talking about
7.
I was talking about the heads for that little Dodge like Damien working on. I had one a couple years back. Well, actually, been longer than that. It's been about 14 years ago. And I had to go all the way to Tennessee just to get a set of heads.
But on the other note, I'm actually known for a wiring car. It's kind of my specialty.
When's the last time you seen a set of original high output for 4.7 unused? You ever hear of them?
Nope.
I finally found this set after looking for like 4 years. I finally found this set right here in Georgia, almost next door to me.
After looking for years?
What's that?
After looking all that time, they're right next door to you?
Yeah. Yep.
See, when I go to find something online for sale, it's always in Georgia or Tennessee. It's never.
All right, so get this. Y'all know that I lived in Ohio before. Well, when I used to look for something when I lived in Ohio, everything would be in the south. I finally moved to the south. Everything's up north.
Everything's up there?
Yeah. That's about right there. That is about right. Well, Turner ain't coming back. He done got that money. He done went to town.
Or that carburetor. You've never used it. You're tired of tripping over it. You're tired of moving it around. So if somebody comes along and says, "Hey, I'll give you $100 for it," yeah, I'll get it out of here then.
Yeah.
That next day, you need it.
That next day, yes.
Somebody said the other day I need another carburetor for that Thunderbird. Instead of the Elderbrock on it. I almost told her, well, if you feel that way, go ahead and buy me one and send it to me and I'll put it on there.
Did you crank that over?
On the Thunderbird?
Yeah.
No, one part. Actually, two part. Waiting on my radiator hoses to come in, and that one part, I can't remember what I did with it. Is the oil sensor unit. I can't find it nowhere.
The oil pressure?
Yeah, it goes, screws inside the block, the wire goes on it. I got to figure.
Going to run the electrical.
Yeah. So I got to find that sensor because I can't crank it up till I get a sensor put in it.
Is it the big barrel one?
The little big one. When they make a big one now for a replacement, but this is like
it's the pencil one.
Yeah, it's the pencil one.
I was gonna say I got 3 or 4 of the big barrel ones.
Yeah.
I take them off and I throw them away.
So I gotta either order another one or.
Well, I don't throw them away. I throw them in a box and I move them around about 6 times. Then I give them away to somebody and I go, "Oh crap! I need that now."
Yeah. Well, when I took it out, I took it off the motor. I said, well, I need to clean this up. And I went ahead and painted it gray. And I said, well, I'm going to put this up so when I don't lose it. So when I need it, I'll get through, I'll put it back in the motor. Well, I guess I lost it because I can't find it nowhere.
Shoot, I spend most of my time looking for the parts that I supposedly put in a good place so I can find it later.
Right.
That's where most of the time goes, searching for the stuff that packed away 6 months ago, a year, whatever.
And then I was out there in the yard today and I was like, man, I want these headers to go on there. And then I was like, got one of the headers and I got my Y pipe out of the trunk. And I put them up like that right there and I'm like, oh crap, this is going to butt right up there. I'm like, well, I'm putting the headers on. And then I realized, hey, I got 2 converters on this thing. The last 2 converters I sold like that was $500, and that was last year. And I'm thinking, oh, I'm cutting them converters off, and I'm gonna sell them and go back and have get exhaust put on the car because I don't need no converters.
No, scrapyard won't take those converters. I tried taking a few of those 8-pipes in. I still got them now, but they won't take them without a title or whatever VIN number.
No, you gotta have a license in order to sell them now.
Yeah.
Yeah, gotta have the license.
Here you can still take them in, but yeah, they take a photocopy of your ID.
Yep.
We have a shop account anyway, so
Yeah, Dakota, I can take them. I used to do that. I used to go around salvage yards and buy their converters and pull my truck and trailer up and buy the generator and sawzall and cut converters. It's back before people even know what a converter was worth. I made a lot of money doing that.
You get the old pellet kind, and you fill a 25 container, so the grease containers. Got about 15 to 20,000.
Oh yeah. That one, when I cut them all the time before people really knew what they were worth.
Yeah.
There was one converter called the exotic converter, and it was $1,000 then. And this was back in 02, 01, 02. And I've cut many converters, and I've only cut one exotic converter. And when I jacked up the car, And I crawled up underneath it and I looked at it. I knew exactly what it was. And I got my camera out and I started taking pictures of the car, the VIN number and everything. So I remember the next go around what car these things on. And I've only cut one of them.
Another one is thermal reactor. They're about that big around.
Yeah, I cut one. I cut another one off of a Sunbird. So then we bought a Sunbird for parts, and I whacked it off. And when I took it off, the guy handed me $1,000, and I like to fell out. He said that was a small exotic converter, and I like to fell out. And I was like, man, we didn't give $150 for the car.
Of course, it goes by market, though. Sometimes they're up, sometimes they're down.
Yep. It's like playing the stock market. You buy that
platinum that's in them.
Platinum. There's platinum in them. See, back when I done it, we had a booklet, probably about the size that much, that big, and you had to look through the paper to see how much those were.
It smells like maple syrup.
Oh, Lord.
Where's that
Seriously,
from,
our money does smell like maple syrup. That's no lie. It's true.
So when we got the converters, we had to look through there and find out how much it's worth. Now everything's done on the app now, and it goes by the number of the converter on how much it's worth.
And the condition of it.
Yeah.
If it's burned out, you don't get nothing.
And a Dodge converter, if it's a Dodge, you might get half of what's in that converter because most time it's burnt out. I go, well, I didn't even cut one off with Dodge. I left them on there.
Yeah. I don't know if Fords seem to hold most of their value in parts, not as whole. I've made more money off of parting a Ford out than I have selling them whole.
Well, how much you say he's going to give me for this Thunderbird? Because I'm fixing to load it up.
Heck, I'm not too far from you, so just send them down me. If we can cross the border, I'll load them up. I'll stack these things up like quarters and take them home.
I get David's Dodge there to save him a bunch of headaches, and then we're going to be on our way to Canada.
Just got to be careful. Might let you cross border, but we might not let you go back. Hey, look at these people like that. They look like they know how to work. Quick, catch them.
Hey,
I can't cross the border, so I'm out. Get that to come to me.
Turner, I ordered a Turner on Amazon.
What was that?
I ordered the Teeny Turner on Amazon.
Did you?
Yeah.
Have you got it yet? I could have sent you one for free, you know. I could have sent you one for free. I got like 10, 11 of them.
Oh, they're like $10.
I tell you, that little bastard comes in handy. It's so small, so compact. Nope.
Yeah, those of you who don't know, he's actually got a tool named after him. You got one right there? I'll give you a front stage again.
Dig it out first. Someone around here. Give me a second. Everything's just scattered.
I had somebody knock on the door the other day, and I'm like, I looked at there, who is that? I'm like, oh,
Yep, that's it.
Hey, I know.
And to give you an idea, this is a normal stubby. This is my little guy. And it's quite literally called the Teeny Turner.
That is so cool. And I'll tell you what, getting under dash like that Dakota he's working on right there, that's going to come in mega handy.
Oh yeah. I think
they're all precision bits. It's actually it's designed for electricians and like computer people and that. It's got all precision bits in it. So
I drop that link in one of your videos, Turner, where I can get it, and I'm gonna contact them and tell them, look, there's a bunch of YouTubers wants to try them tools out, and that way all of us up here get one of them, and then we'll be able to try it for free.
I tell you one thing: if you do want good screwdrivers, Pick Quick is the way to go.
Oh yeah. Yeah, guy knocked
a screwdriver for everything.
Guy knocked on the door the other day and says,
if you don't have a screwdriver, they got a bit to put in your screwdriver.
Yeah. Guy says, this says the address. I said, no, I think that's next door. He said, I just wanted to look at this old Thunderbird. And I said, you did? He said, yeah. He said, that's a nice one. I said, well, it could be yours, right?
I tell you what, stripping that dash out of that 58, you know, you got your little stubby in there. You got to have the flat, you got to have the Phillips. And you're up in there and you're on your back, up inside, and you got your arm twisted up like this.
Yeah, like this
you
right.
Look for the flat one, and oh my God, where is it? Where is it? That would have been so handy. Just flip it out and put another one in there, and just.
Another useful tool for getting under those dashes is one of these.
Oh yeah,
you can get them in 90 tooth like this one. So.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah, so you can work sideways.
It's one of the best kits to have. Get yourself one of these little bit kits and one of those little wrenches. You're laughing. And then you got to get yourself some gear wrenches.
I like the ratchet wrenches, buddy. When they first come out, I got me set them ratchet wrenches. Man, in about 6 months, I wore them things out and had to buy me another set of them.
Yeah, but always get the ones with the reverse on them.
Yeah.
Don't get the ones you got to take off and flip over.
Right.
That's the big secret.
That was the best.
Bolt out, and then it comes up and slaps up against the bracket. Now what do?
Get out.
You can't tighten it back up because then it's on the ratchet side.
And also make sure you get the one that has the screwdriver hole, because you stick your screwdriver through it and speed wrench it. As a heavy duty mechanic, that little thing's coming in handy so much, because they like to put those Torx bolts in the stupidest places on those trucks and tractors. Like, why the hell? How the hell did you get that in there? Like, even if I take this part off, I still have to take that bolt off to take this part off.
See, they bolted it up and then they forged the bracket around it.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. God, now I got Princess Auto money. I'm gonna be broke tomorrow.
You're gonna be broke tonight, because I'm bringing that Thunderbird to you.
I won't buy that Thunderbird. I'll park it in my yard and part it out for you. And I'll send you a check for 40%.
Yeah, and then grab me a Mercury tailgate on your way back.
No word of a lie. I make benches out of tailgates for restaurants and diners. I'll make the diner benches out of tailgates. Like I've even taken cars and trucks and cut the whole entire front end off and made a whole entire table set out of them. Yeah, that's the bonus to being a mechanic and a carpenter. I can make it into anything. It's like one guy, he was looking at the box on the old Chevy that we got here, and he's like, "Well, the deck's all rotted out." I said, "Well, when you buy a classic Chevy box, you're going to cut that deck out anyways and put some board down there.
They're all rotted
You can
out.
put wood down there anyway. It's already pre-cut out. The walls are great. Who cares about that deck? You put some cedar in there.
Dakota, I know where a '69 Charger is for $9,000, and it's probably about an hour drive from me.
On those old wood beds, we'd take those. We'd buy a new bed kit for them, but then lay them out and sandblast the wood. And then you paint them black, and then you work your way up from there, either grays or green, up to your light colors at the end, and then sand it. Oh man! And then throw a good epoxy clear over them.
Yeah,
those things are just come out beautiful. Then we take and scar them, you know.
Yeah, you gotta have an act to do that right there. If you could do that right there, you'd make a ton of money.
Yeah.
Right now, because people are begging for the beds to look like that.
Yeah.
You really gotta have the act to do that stuff right there.
Where the heck is that? It's not there. I got a picture of that last one we did. It's a 55 Chevy.
That's the thing. If it comes down to wood, I can almost do anything wood and make wood look like anything that you want. You show me a picture, and I'll make it. I can duplicate it dead on. Because like that was one of my big things when I was younger. I used to go around for a really high-end furniture company, and I'd refinish all their furniture, and I did the same thing for flooring companies. And then I started doing inlays for these flooring companies and stuff like that, and just kept going on. And the skills that I got for woodworking, like I'm a damn good mechanic, but when it comes to my wood, I'm untouchable. I wish I could turn wrenches as good as I could turn wood, because my life would be a lot easier and I'd probably be richer.
Yeah. The reason why you broke now is because you're turning wrenches.
Yeah.
So I started out painting cars, doing body work. Everybody kept on telling me, ain't no money in body work. Ain't no money in body work. You start working on cars. Then I started working on them. Now there's more money in body work than it is turning wrench.
Well, that's the thing. Body work will never go out of business, because everyone dents their dang cars. Everyone scratches their cars.
Yep. But we don't have.
Here it's
when you got dealerships that can't put a clear coat on properly or use the right primer, you know. Not talk about anyone, Chevy.
Yep.
Collision repair here in the States is getting real hard.
They got to use water base up there?
We're slowly converting to waterborne, but we still like it's still a work in progress, like, because it's really down to the shop and how and the safety inspector that goes into the shop and facility. But that's the thing is, if you're a shop that's still spitting out classic cars, because we got laws in Canada that if a classic car was painted a certain way or a car was painted that way, we actually we can be like, we can't be denied the right to use the OEM paint that was used on that vehicle. But that's the thing. We still use a lot of the base paints up here, because it's still cheaper. It's more effective, and that's the thing, is teaching people how to use waterborne, and the intelligence of our next generation up here. It's proving to be challenging. Because waterborne is not as forgiving.
No,
but then not of that. When you go to waterborne, when you get into metallics, semi-metallics, or anything like that, it doesn't look the same. It does not look the same. It doesn't finish the same.
The what is it like? It's not thick enough. So when you lay down the metallic, it's not sticking up.
Yep. Like I even tried I tried using a waterborne candy coat, and it looked like crap. It just looked horrible. It did not It did not impress me one bit. But I guess if that's what people's standards are now, let them have that standards. But my standards are a little bit more than that. So.
Good Lord, I can't find that picture anywhere now. I got to quit labeling everything phone dump.
Yeah, when I'm downloading, when I'm taking the pictures off my phone, I just use random letters on the keyboard, like LS, like I just randomly type stuff. There you go, done. Like,
hey, Jay. You're probably getting ready for a power tour. Good to see you, man.
I'm gonna hop off and go argue with that Chevy some more. So.
Oh Lord.
I've got to do the thermostat, and of course it's in a van, and it's a 6.5, and well, they couldn't put it in the same place they do in the truck.
Oh, man.
They had to put it in. Had to put it in above the battle bridge, and they had to put it in backwards so it's facing towards the back of the engine, and they had to put it on its side. You know.
You said it all right there with van. Oh Lord.
Anything with a van, like that's the thing. You see a van coming to your shop, you charge extra just for it. Van, yep, we can work on that. There, we got a van premium. Well, that's the thing. The worst thing, diesels and vans. Like I see so many people that are like, oh, I gotta lift the body off my van to get my engine out and that. Well, now they used to make an adapter that went on your engine hoist that bolted onto the front of it. You lowered it down nice low. You bolted it to the front of the engine, and you lift the engine up that way instead of coming up over it. And you pull it out. But it's extra work that doesn't need to be done. Like I got to rip the whole front of the engine apart to pull the engine out.
Take the grill out. Take everything.
That Power Stroke, when it first came out, I went to Ford AAA, and we went to the Ford manufacturer. They said that they had to cut the horsepower to 100 horsepower just for the van so it wouldn't overheat.
Yeah,
it's the hood. It's trapping that heat under the hood that ruins them diesels.
Uh-huh.
No.
Amongst
all
the
of them.
O-rings inside the engine that could go wrong.
Yeah.
Even the gassers, everything. That doghouse gets hot.
Oh yeah. I never told you about the guy. He had a 84 Dodge camper van. He shows up one day and he's got these headers. And he's like, I want these headers on my van. I'm like, I'm measuring up, like, you know what? These things are going to be touching your doghouse. So I'm going to have to modify your doghouse. He's like, oh, no, just leave. And I said, no, I can't. And so I was like, oh, okay, fine. Just to humor him, I went and installed the goddamn things on that thing. And I'm like, okay, well, you won't listen to me, man. He gets 5 blocks away and his van catches on fire. And I didn't even secure the doghouse. I left it off and I said, you clip it on. I'm not clipping it on. And he gets down the road, dude, man, my van's on fire. I told you, dumbass.
You don't want to keep wrap it or anything?
You know, like that's the thing. Some people will just annoy me so much, ask me to do something that's stupid, that I'll just do it just to prove my point that you're an idiot.
Well, it's just like someone comes into the shop and they're like, oh, I need an oil temp sensor, whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, well, why do you need an oil temp sensor? Oh, I just had the codes read from O'Reilly's, and that's what I need. And I'm like,
yeah.
And here come to find out, after replacing it, and I call him up, I was like, well, your check engine light's still on. He's like, well, why is it on? I gave you the right part. And I'm like, yeah, you gave me the right part, but that's not what was wrong with your vehicle. The computer needed reprogramming. I'm getting good continuity through the wires, but the computer just needed reprogrammed.
Yeah. That's the thing is everyone thinks that this OBD stuff is the miracle answer. Oh, I'll just go buy myself a $50 thing, plug it in my car, and I'll know everything. No, that tells you where to start.
Yes.
It doesn't tell you what the problem is. It just tells you
And
where
it does not fix anything.
Right.
I can push the erase. I can clear your check engine light so it won't come on, but it does nothing.
Yep.
It's a diagnostic tool.
That thing is like I don't know how the hell like the parts like O'Reilly's and stuff like that are getting away with stuff like that, man. Like they should have no place. Go, well, I'll plug into it and tell you what's wrong, then I'll sell you the part. And they're literally
you know what their mindset for that is? They there to sell you a part.
Yep.
So when they hook that machine up and it says it's one sensor, well, they gonna sell you that part because that's what their machine says.
I do have one, but I charge $25 to take it out of the bag.
Yeah.
I just take it out of the bag.
That's the thing is like they're literally taking advantage of people that don't know any better, and in my mind's eye, that's something that eventually someone is going to go after them for. Hey, you plugged your computer in, you sold me this part. That's not the part I needed, and just go right back after them. Like if I go, like I'd go right back to him, slam it down on the table. I want my money back, and I want the cost of the labor for having this part installed. That wasn't the right part. That wasn't the problem. Like that's
I charge that $25 because for one, I had to pay for it.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you what's wrong with it, and number two, or I guess that's number three. I don't want to work on it.
That's right.
Yeah.
Oh, you're good with carburetors and stuff like that. This old stuff. Here, can you fix my 2014? No. You just said everything that I'm good at that has nothing to do with this. But I get sucker punched and
I don't think my parts are gonna fit your car. When's the last time you saw one of these old classic Carter cases?
Hey Rose, Wendy wants to know what that onesie says above you. Does that mean you got a grandbaby on the way?
What?
Let's see, what time is it? Yeah, he's not watching. Yeah, that's a big reason I haven't had a whole lot of videos come up.
Oh, yeah, the little jumper up there. That's cute.
But I haven't told my dad yet.
Did you get married first, at least?
We're expecting our first grandchild.
Oh man,
Nice.
Oh, that's a big one.
That's almost.
That's gonna be one spoiled child, you know. The first one always gets spoiled.
You spoil them and you send them back home.
So it's official. I'm officially an old man now. So I can drive like that, dadgummit.
I gotta make it home alive to see the little one. I gotta instill all my wise jokes on this small child. Gotta make sure when he gets older, he'll have the right joke.
When he gets older and goes back and watches these lives, he's gonna say, "Who was all them folks, Grandpa? Who was all them folks on them lives?"
Thanks, Clark. Look forward to seeing it.
That's the thing. You always got to teach them grandchildren stuff like when someone burps and they say, "Excuse me," you have to reply, "I can't, there's no excuse for you, but I know a judge, we can have you pardoned." Or you can reverse it. If they say pardon, you can say, "I'm not a judge. I can't help you, but I can come up with an excuse for you."
Oh, man.
Yeah, but if it's a judge, don't mention my name.
I would have rather had grandbabies first than kids.
Yeah.
grandbabies are special.
Well, you got to have the kids first before you can have the grandbabies. If you have grandbabies before you have kids, there's something funny going on at that hospital. Okay? Or you could just be like me. You just adopt everyone else's kids on YouTube. They bring their kid on stream. And it's like, damn it, I'm going to donate money and force them to go buy a toy for that child. One guy on YouTube, tactics. He does like these tool reviews and stuff like that. He had his little girl on help him cut a tool apart. And so I donated $50 and said, next stream, I want to know what she buys with it because that's her money. I will come down there and I'll whoop your butt if she doesn't get a good toy. And she was smart enough to, when I heard that was when I said that that's your money. She looked at her daddy, goes, "That's my money."
Damien, how many grandkids you done got?
0.
Oh, you ain't old enough yet, are you?
I'm 45.
Holy cow. Man, I figured
Younger me.
Yeah, younger than me.
Yeah.
I figured you was in your about 30s, I figured.
30. Wow.
Yeah, I figured you was in your 30s.
Well, do you know what the sad thing is, though? We're always going to be older than you.
Get used to it. Another 5 years, you're going to have a bunch of gray in your hair.
Shoot, I've been getting gray hair since I was 30.
Well, you should have stayed out of that haunted house when you're looking for that peanut butter solution.
How do you know about that?
Oh, man.
Oh, man.
That's what's cool, though. I learned a lot from you young guys.
How old are you now, BareRose?
50.
50?
Yeah.
What month was you born?
April. I was almost a fool.
Dadgummit, I'm a month older than you are.
Well, that explains why he's still got more hair than I do. I got 9 years on him now.
Actually, I got a head full of hair.
I got a good comb
all
over.
out. See, I grew it all out.
Oh, you're going for the Darman Greg dad look, aren't you?
No, I'm going to get 3 holes tattooed to the top of my head. And I'm going to dye this green and go as a hula ball, a bowling ball wearing a hula skirt.
Oh, God. You better be careful. Budweiser might pick you up as a spokesperson if you do that.
I'm a good spokesman. What is it? It's Bud Light. What's it taste like? Shit. Same Bud flavor. It's been all these years.
Yeah. I'm still holding on to the money, praying that the vehicle within the next. My rule is if I don't get a phone call in an hour, it's my money.
Jonathan, he's halfway to 90.
No. It broke yesterday. It broke tomorrow. I'm sorry. Warranty's expired. Bring her back. I'll charge you more money to fix it.
John,
like I
you
told
were
him.
the first person I told about that. Because I can't say anything to my dad until we know for sure that it's, 100%. I had to tell somebody, so you're it.
Are there a baby dad or it's one big fart waiting to come out?
Yeah, I looked at it earlier and I'm thinking, wonder what's on that Wednesday. And I'm thinking, somebody's got a grandbaby coming.
Either that or the neighbors are still dropping kids off on the porch. No, we had another one drop it on next door.
Now, I learned a long time ago that a true diplomat will always remember the birthday, but will never ask the age.
Hey, well, apparently I still need my mother to tell me when my birthday is. 9 years old. And my mother reminds me, oh, by the way, today's your birthday. I thought that was next week.
I don't count mine no more.
I haven't for years.
I'm going back.
Been for this last one, I seriously don't know my age.
No. Well, when
I
people
had
stop by,
first big grand mal seizure, and they had to call the ambulance and everything. And they was loading me up in the ambulance. They was asking me all the questions, you know, what's your social security number, who's president, seeing how much you can remember. One of the questions was, how old are you? And my dad was there with me, and he said, don't ask him that. He can't tell you.
when I had my head injury, when my head hit the curb, the one that I was telling one about, that's one of the questions that the paramedic asked me. How old? What year? He said, "What year were you born?" And I reached in my pocket, pulled out my ID card. I'm looking at the numbers. The first number that I saw is the one that I read out. I was born in 1974533221. Wow. Okay, you were born way in the future. Well, it's just like when I first wanted to go get my driver's license. The lady at the counter goes, "Now, have you ever had a driver's license before?" I said, "Nope." He goes, "Are you sure?" I'm like, "Yep." And he goes, "Well, that's a shame, because had you said yes, you could have got your license without having to do the test." I'm like, "Why?" "Because if you said yes, you could have either chosen being born in 1901 or in I think the other one was 1956." So had she just told me what she was doing, I would have said, "Yeah, I had a license. I was born in 1901." That would be cool, having some dead guy's driver's license, living off that one. Cop pulls you over. "Don't I look good for 100 or something?" But she literally asked me, like, seriously, do I really look like I'm some old fogey? I'm 17 years old, man. Do I look like an old poger? I'm a pretty healthy looking 100-some-odd-year-old person. Yeah.
Hey, my brother went to the hospital one time, went to the doctor's office, and they sent him up to the hospital, and they was going to meet him in the hospital to run some tests on him. It so happened they put him on like the second, third floor, and nurse came in and asked him what his name was. He told him everything, and the lady says, "How old did you say you was?" My brother told him. She said, "Hold on just a second." She walked out the door, came back in, and says, "Oh, we got to prep you for surgery." And my brother says, "Hold on now," and finally, brother asked him, what social security number you got on that paper? And the lady told him, he said, "That ain't me." He said, "Oh, we got another Rose over next door." It was a great name. Only he was an older guy.
Trying to get some preemptive surgery, you know. I don't have to worry about this no more. That's gone.
He was ready to come out of the hospital room, buddy. He was ready to leave then. Man, first over here got me sweating over all that working going on.
Yeah.
See, he's smart. He done close that door and get the air conditioner on in there.
Yeah, get the bugs out too.
Are the bugs out real bad down there?
Oh yeah, the south it is. They'll tote you off.
Yeah, if we have like a really cold winter, the bugs get really big.
Yeah.
I'm surprised we haven't got hit yet. Usually this time of year, I'm starting to get skeeters out, but nothing so far. It's kind of strange year.
Oh, they down
I'm
here,
not
but
complaining about it. And the frogs are late coming out. Strange year.
Just imagine an electrician there playing with those wires. They're 100% going to get connected wrong, because the colors don't match where they're supposed to go. Got to remember, in AC systems, red and black isn't ground. That's a live wire. White's a ground wire.
That's it.
It follows house code.
The hardest part about wiring is making it look good.
yeah, that's the hard part.
That's why they invented those nice little plastic cases, that plastic wrap that you put around it. You can hide the ugly with that stuff.
No, that's why they invented side cutters and carburetors and distributors.
Hey, some of them carburetors did have one wire going to them.
Yeah.
The bad one. The one you take off and replace with a cable.
Yeah.
I don't want no timer on my. Yeah. I'll choke it when I want to choke it.
No, there's always one of those ones.
I've made it home on a bad fuel pump with the choke. One hand on the choke and feathering the throttle. Get home that way. Not very fast, but you can get home that way.
Or take your shoe stains and tie them around your windshield wipers if they quit working. And I've done that before.
Yeah, see, we've all owned a chitty chitty bang bang at one time.
Now, see, mine wipers are vacuum operated, so they never operate.
Man, oh man, oh man.
That's when your brakes don't work all the time, but you got a hole in the floor and you got a chunk of 2x4 with you. You put her in neutral and plug her into the ground and let it drag till she comes to a stop. I've actually used I've used a chunk of wood in place of a brake pad just to get home.
Oh,
they do some strange stuff in Canada.
Well, we got some pretty hard wood up here,
Did you wrap it in hockey tape?
Nope. Hockey tape's valuable up here, man.
Makes good wire loom.
Yeah, great wire loom makes great grip for your handles on your hammers and your wrenches.
And when you wrap it, it looks like that original cloth wrap wire loom too.
Yeah. But I'm gonna hop off because I'm gonna go try to wash the crap off my face. See if it will come off.
Yeah, you look like a raccoon.
Quite literally.
With a very nice smile.
Actually, I should leave it on till later on tonight when our two raccoons come over to eat their dog food. See what they think. I'll just sit there in front of them.
Oh, jeez.
So, last night I had a good conversation with my cousins.
Just remember, Sawyer, it's a Chevy, so work the body. You got to work the body, and then go up top.
Yeah.
You got it on the ropes, but you got to keep pushing the body.
Yeah. Well, you guys have a great night. It was awesome hanging out with you. Nice meeting you, Auto Salvage. Nice seeing you.
Nice meeting you.
Good seeing you.
I'll be there.
As always, Sawyer.
I'll be there in about 4 days. I'm loading this Thunderbird up tomorrow.
You guys have a great night.
See. Wow. Well, I'm gonna eat dinner and go to bed myself.
Yeah, I think I'll shut her down here too. That way I can save about 20 minutes for my last Saturday Night Live before they reset my hours.
Oh, man.
Oh,
Keep hammering on that, man. You got it.
yeah, you get it.
I had everything just kind of on. Now everything tucked away, so might as well. I'm waiting for the computer anyway. So
Damien, you could play a mean poker game if you know how to play poker.
why is that?
Because
I've
you
been
would
told that
hide
before.
the hand that kills all of them.
I've been told that before.
You can do it. Oh,
Man, that is great news. Couldn't have happened to a better guy, brother. Hit 1,000.
Nice, yeah. Ed.
so did.
Congrats.
So did.
I'm 792.
Dakota, I'm fixing to message you back. Well, my wife's channel is passing me.
Uh-oh.
She has gained 92 subs in one day.
Sweet.
Nice.
Keep it rolling.
Views is like 12,000 views a day. She's going to pass me.
That's how it goes.
She's going to pass me.
All right, guys.
Guys.
I'm gonna get off of here, but I'll still be watching till you guys get out of here. Okay.
Good
All right,
seeing you tonight, man.
Don't
Good night. All.
hard. Yeah, I got to
Dog. So you can go up top a few more times on our dogs, yeah.
Man, oh man.
They don't like to come out of the corner. They like to come right at you.
Yeah, that's it. That's right there. Exactly right.
And a Ford, well, it don't matter. You can swing and it's the wrong part number anyway. You're going to miss.
That's right. Hey, the coach just sent you a message. Yeah, Fords had to go in there and fight with everybody behind the counter because they don't know how to order a part for a Ford.
Ford didn't know how to order parts for a Ford.
No.
But that's why I like a Ford.
Yep.
And they're actually one of my favorites to do because of that. They keep you on your toes and you got to be sharp.
Yep, that's right. A Chevrolet, you can take a Chevrolet and throw it together with a little nothing in your pocket. Where it
They're
takes
all the same. Or pretty, they're not all the same. But they're so close that it's a lot easier.
Yep. On a Ford, you gotta have some money.
You slip up with a Ford and Henry comes out of the grave, grabs a couple bennies out of your wallet.
Yeah. He still wants to make a couple of thousand while he's still in the grave. I guess he thinks that buddy's gonna get him through the afterlife.
But as Dakota knows too, Pontiac's that way too.
Yep. Pontiac and Oldsmobile anyway.
BOP.
Yep.
That's a different league.
Yep. Always like the older model Pontiac 60s.
You bet, Ed. Like I said, couldn't have happened to a better guy.
Yep. Yep.
That's only the first step, too, because we're going to get you even more.
Oh, yeah.
I take that back. We're not going to get you more. You're going to get some more.
Yeah.
Now we're along for the ride there, man. We're going to watch you explode. Well, with that, I think I'll close her down for tonight. Thanks for coming in, ASO, and everybody in the chat.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
All my mods and everybody.
We will catch you on the next one.
That they are. Cadillacs can jump up and bite you, too.
Oh, yeah.
But boy, there's untapped potential in them things. I wish they would have. Yeah, that could be a good topic right there. How much you can actually get out of those big Cadillacs.
Yep.
But good night, that takes a bit of cash.
Oh, yeah. Well, I will catch you on the next one, BareRose.
Yeah, and like I said, thanks everybody for coming out, and we'll do this again next Saturday.
We'll see you.
Watching Damien work out there just got me itchy.
Makes me want to go out there and work on my car.
Sitting in here with my dress shirt on, I feel kind of out of place.
Oh,
Thanks
man.
everybody for coming out. And get out there and get some metal hot. Lord knows you can do better than I can. Thanks, guys.